Carl, let me ask you now, what do you make of Prince Harry smoking openly at a polo club? Are you aware of this story?
No. Was it? Go on.
Prince Harry, you know that he's one of the royals, and he was seen smoking openly, a fag, a cigarette, at a polo club.
Third in line to the throne.
Something like that, yeah.
Imagine that. Someone smoking a cigarette is third in line to the throne.
A cigarette, Carl.
Is it a non-smoking polo club?
Do you know, I don't know, but if it were, would that make things even worse for you? No, seriously, what do you make of it? This is, you know, the whole, you know, the furore is he's a role model, you know, he's a royal, should he be seen puffing away in a public place?
I don't think it matters, does it?
Not concerned for you?
How old is he? Is he old enough to smoke?
I think he probably is, yeah.
Right,
Well, I think the trouble with this role model thing with anything that's legal, it should either be illegal or not.
Yeah.
I just don't think you can impose things like that, because you could say that it is bad for you, and it is bad to start smoking, and it really is bad for you, you know, it causes cancer and everything.
Everyone knows that, don't they?
Well, yeah, but you should either make it illegal or shut up about it. Sorry, this is Carl you're asking, isn't it?
I am indeed. So we can throw these questions your way as well, if you fancy.
Sorry, yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
But Carl, what are your views generally? I mean, it's obviously cigarettes are perfectly legal and so on, but what about stronger narcotics? Because I know you're very scared of drugs and stuff, aren't you?
I'm not a fan. I don't know.
What's your concern? What's your worry?
Just that you might get into them. It's like you might have them and go, oh, this is alright.
Exactly, Carl. Exactly.
Although I was talking to you about it earlier, and you weren't very sympathetic about a lot of young people who have perhaps gone to crack or smack. Didn't you describe it as their own fault?
Sometimes it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I could have turned to it where I grew up, but I said, well, don't want to do that, it's not good for you. So I avoided it.
You turned to ghosts.
So you've got no sympathy for anyone who's a drug addict? It's their own fault,
It depends, doesn't it?
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? You can be an addict if, I don't know, something, I'm trying to think of a nice way that
Well,
you
most
might
people
end up...
start on stuff like that because something really traumatic's happened to them. Very few people go out for a laugh one night and go, let's all try it. So, you know, but, yeah.
Just say no, I suppose, is the
Just say
attitude.
no, listen to the cast of Grange Hill.
Now, this will scare you. Now, Carl, you will be a little bit unnerved about this. Have you seen the film Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
You know what happened there? Well, according to this on here, it says scientists are planning to clone mammoths for a theme park. Look at his face, look at that, he looks like a dog caught in the headlights of a car, he's
I
terrified.
love Carl.
He sprung to attention there.
Is that the best news you could have?
Man moths.
Right, yeah, man moths. I love the fact that that's why he was so excited that they bred a man moth. What is this? Yeah, it's a human being that hides in your wardrobe and eats an entire jacket in a day.
Yeah.
What do you mean, man moths? Mammoths! Mammoth! The big hairy cow from the Ice Age. I mean, elephant.
You're not so excited about that, then? You can take or leave bringing back mammoths to life, but a man moth?
A man moth is a different matter. Oh, if we'd have never brought that up, he'd have gone and told someone now. You know, I've bred an half man, half moth.
This is what we mean.
That's how things start.
This is what we mean when you hear these ghost stories.
Are you slightly deaf? Is that it? When you hear these stories, you're slightly deaf. And his head was in the basket, and he went, count how many times I blink. Is it?
Carl, is English your first language? Are you actually foreign? Is that
yeah.
Should we speak
when we say
slower?
foreign, we mean not of this planet.
Yeah. Should we speak slower? Would that be a help to you?
No, go on.
What do you make of that?
Do you think that's good? Do you think that's good to bring back mammoths?
Prehistoric animals.
These giant elephants.
They're slow, aren't they? It's not as if they're going to, like, get out and run fast and they can't capture them.
They'll probably be
Like
offended, to be
elephants,
honest,
aren't
Carl. They'll probably be offended.
No, but you're asking it as if, like, oh, it could all go wrong, but it couldn't, could it?
Well,
Really?
but the point was about Jurassic Park is they thought it wouldn't go wrong. They thought they had it all under control.
well,
Have you
dinosaurs.
learned nothing from Jurassic Park, Carl?
Dinosaurs would say, oh, think about it before you do it. But with a hairy elephant, it's not going to...
Not a concern for you. Would you go along to see him? Would you be interested in it?
If it was in the area.
He's great, isn't he? I'd love a queue,
Nothing
right?
impresses
No,
him.
but what I'd like to do is Carl sitting like Yoda in a little cave, and I'd just like to see people like Tony Blair and, you know, Stephen Hawking in a queue, and they go and say, Carl, got a bit of a problem.
And thinking of cloning a man and a moth. Problem? Not an issue. No, if I'm in the area, I want to close friend and have a look at it. Otherwise, just don't send it near my clones.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So it's just for a second. As the words man moth came into your head, how excited were you? I mean, were you both terrified and excited? Just for the moment when you thought that they'd cloned a man and a moth.
I pictured,
what kind of face did he have? Did he have the moth's head, or was it a man's head?
just a little head, little man head.
Right, what was his face? What did it look like?
He just was like a bit shocked.
Perplexed, yeah. So it was like he'd been grafted onto the body of a moth without his consent.
And when he was asleep,
yeah, he'd woken up.
he just went in for another goiter removed, and they said, we've replaced your goiter with the body of a giant moth.
Yeah.
Is that all right, Mr. Jenkins?
So he had the head of a little. Was it a little boy or a man?
Little man.
Right. Okay.
And he's just bumping into a lamp.
Just bumping into a lamp.
If you went into hospital and they'd done something, what's the worst thing they do, right? What would you rather have done, right? You wake up and you've got lobster claws for hands, right? You wake up and you've got duck's feet, or you wake up and you've got one horn coming out of your head.
The worst thing,
Yeah.
probably the horn coming out of my head.
Why?
Get in the way.
That'd be useful, wouldn't it, in fights and stuff? And for like parties, people play
Well, I suppose
points.
the lobster claws would also be quite handy there.
I can't believe he's not listening, to be honest.
Definitely.
So you think he's listening? Yeah, he listened in Manchester. He's not listening, he's out of town.
That was Motorcycle Club, Spread Your Love. You enjoying it so far?
Yeah, I suppose so.
First show back?
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's great to be
I'm
back.
just thinking about that money, Rick, to be honest.
I
It's still
know,
playing on my mind.
I know, yeah.
Could we maybe get like a sort of telethon type thing going, or a little charity thing, just sort of help me pay?
You can't really ask people to send you money, it's
Really?
technically begging.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you're are you a registered charity?
I suppose not really.
We could probably get you status.
Yeah. But could I promise? I mean, could I pretend to give them something in return? I mean, am I allowed to sell things on the radio?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
so-
Although you probably get in trouble with the authority if you're using it to sort of like to your own gain. Not like everyone else doesn't.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Free lunches and sponsorship and God knows what. You know what I mean? The people that work here, small fry, the scum.
Exactly, the nobodies, yeah.
Yeah.
But 165 quid it's quite a lot of money, so I mean, if you want to contribute anything, Rick, as I said before, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, no, I would if I felt any responsibility or cared. But yeah, I got there too early, which is annoying. What we should have done really was get you your plane and come back, because I'd have had time.
Do you know, I was going to mention it at the time, but I didn't want to because I knew the answer would be no.
Oh, Carl. I've had a great time. I've forgotten how good it was just to have a normal just to have a conversation with you. Have you been looking forward to this? He's really down today, isn't he?
He's down, man, isn't he?
Just a bit tired.
But it's interesting because I said to him, did you enjoy Edinburgh? He spent the week up in Edinburgh, obviously, and he said, well after he loved it up there. He's been partying every night, and he actually enjoyed it. And I've never met him when he's actually enjoyed anything before. He's never enjoyed anything, as far as I know. And I'm depressed that we weren't involved.
His paper round.
He loved the paper round, and this is the first time.
He was talking about that the other day as well. I said, he really thinks that paper round he had when he was 14 was the best job he'd ever had. He still thinks it's the best job because he said he was his own boss. But no, you weren't. He went, well, I'll get on a bike and think. And he said, I bet if I phoned those people who I delivered the papers to, they'd say it was the best delivery they've ever had. He said, in fact, I bet a lot of them have chucked in delivery because it went downhill. This is all, he's thinking this as he went along, didn't you?
Yeah.
Imagine phoning someone up and saying, you don't remember me, but I used to deliver your paper 10 years ago. Was it the best delivery service you've ever had?
No, but if I said I delivered it 10 years ago, you used to, if you got up at like 6 in the morning, it was there for you. There's no other paper boy who could guarantee that they'd have that paper when they got
Carl,
out
if
of
you
bed.
could earn enough money, would you do a paper round again? If that was your job, but you were being paid enough to make a living from it, is that something you think about? Do you think you'd enjoy it as much nowadays?
Yeah, I reckon I would, yeah.
Yeah?
Listen to some music.
Sure.
£1,000 a week, would you do the best at... Would you really?
Yeah.
Is there anyone out there who is willing to test that? Is there anyone who's willing to pay Carl, right, a sum of a grand to take a week off work and deliver papers just for that week?
All day though, it's all day.
No. I'll get up and the customers will have their paper.
Yeah, but can I tell you what
6
street
o'clock in the
it
morning.
is?
No, because
No, it's the M25.
see,
You are being paid £1,000.
Yeah,
They may ask for a
you
little
got to
more.
deliver to the M25. I'll tell you what, let's take the mood down a little bit and play one of the most beautiful songs I've been looking forward to getting. By the way, just play this, to be honest. It's Jimmy Webb's version of Galveston. Galveston there, by the brilliant Jimmy Webb. Who wrote it?
on XFM.
Who wrote it?
He wrote it.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Really do who wrote it. It was all one sentence.
Yes.
Did I confuse you?
Again, yeah.
With my speech patterns.
It's just using the English language is always helpful.
But compared to Carl, I'm Oscar Wilde, aren't I?
suppose so.
Now listen to this.
Be afraid.
Electric Soft Coin on XFM 104.9. Not long to go on our a triumphant return. I think. I think the papers will be saying, Steve.
Yes. Yes.
Carl, I've met Carl a couple of times in our sabbatical, and he said to me once, he said, oysters. So I said, have you ever tried oysters? I don't like them. And I went, I said, no, it's just a thing about swallowing them whole. You know, he went, well, the reason you have to do that is just they're fatally poisonous. And if you bite into them, they kill you. And I went, well, of course they don't. He went, yeah. I went, well, of course they wouldn't. What have you chewed on? I said, well, so you swallow them whole and not poisonous. He went, yeah, see. He said, when you swallow heroin in a Johnny, he says, that doesn't kill you, does it? That was it. Oh. And then about a week later, he went, I was wrong about them. Yeah, I went, well, he said, yeah. And what did you say?
It's if you eat them and then you have some whiskey.
They turn deadly when whiskey comes into contact with them.
Yeah, when they've had a drink.
They get a bit rowdy in your stomach. They start fighting. They can cause hilarious rupture.
So what are you saying now? Are you saying you don't believe that?
Am I saying what?
Are you saying you don't believe
Look, he
that?
thinks he's got us here. He thinks he's got us here. Yeah, I don't believe that if you eat an oyster, then drink some whiskey, you die.
You might not die straight away, but you won't.
Eventually, 50 years' time.
If you've got to keep on drinking whiskey.
Yeah,
a bottle a day.
50 or 60 years later, he was dead. Yeah. Oyster and a bottle of whiskey a day. Oh, then out of nowhere, 40 years later.
Where does this information come from, Carl?
If some doctor called up now,
Yeah.
and put you right, would you believe him?
If it wasn't Dr. Fox, yeah.
What about the airy lads growing up with the werewolves and that?
They didn't grow up with werewolves.
Grow up with werewolves.
You're confused about three
Just a
different
genetic
sorts,
mutation where they were born with very, very hirsute.
There were a couple of kids, yes.
They didn't grow up with wolves, and you can't kill them with a silver bullet. I mean, you're confusing two things.
There were some kids who were very, very hairy, yes.
Yeah.
They're in folklore. There were some kids who grew up with wolves, yes. I don't think the two are connected.
Yeah.
So,
There's no such thing as werewolves, Carl.
You
Believe me, I saw a documentary on it on the History Channel. You'd have loved it.
You grew up with a
history of
magpie.
werewolves.
You know, you don't flap around, do you, and steal people's jewellery?
in fact, I'll tell you
What was the thing you told me about snails?
Have you ever had any
5 or 6 digits, Claire.
any post that looks like it's been opened?
07968.
Occasionally, yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, what it is,
Now, Carl,
it's
start
not your
the order
postman
now.
having a
Right,
sneaky look.
sneaky look. Problem is,
Right.
You said give the next
slugs.
The problem's slugs.
Slugs at night, they like nipping about and that, and it gets a bit cold.
How do you feel now?
And in London, like in the country, they go into the grass, don't they?
Right.
But in London, it's like, oh, what can we do? And they go in letterboxes.
Right, okay, so we're
Slugs go in letterboxes.
Get in letterboxes, it's nice and warm in there, dry and what have you. And
These are homeless slugs, aren't they? The ones that lost their shell.
when they're in there, they only found out that they love glue. And they've been eating the glue off the stamps.
Right.
And people have been getting charged for post because it hasn't had stamps on it. It's like, well, they put a stamp on it. It's like slugs have been eating it.
Sure.
And they also eat the glue that's on the actual envelope shutter. And it's a real popular problem, this, that letters are being lost and opened and all that stuff. Slugs.
Slugs like stealing postal orders and things and cashing them in and stuff.
Yeah, again, you know, if there's a doctor, if there's a postman,
Yeah.
Well, there's two expert witnesses, a doctor and a postman. So postage is a real problem.
When we see a slug's trail or a snail's trail,
it's glue.
that's the glue they've stolen, is it?
So what's the first few
That's a little.
I'm not going to say yes to that because I'm not sure.
But we could follow that trail and find them, and they'd have a big sort of
Big file letters.
yeah, our stamps and
Yeah, there they are.
like birthday cards from
yeah, but £2 notes. Oh, that's fantastic. Slugs. So oysters and whiskey kill you, and slugs.
Be very careful if you're going to go out this evening. You're thinking of having a whiskey, maybe some oysters. Be very, very careful.
And if you are going to post a letter, please do not use tasty glue. Back to form there, Oasis, and Little by Little. This is XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. Who are you?
My name's Steve Merchant. Good to see you.
Thanks. With us, the producer in the studio is Carl Pilton, and he'll be doing the buttons.
Yeah, you made a good effort there, but once again, got bored. Words are your enemy, Rick, and they defeated you once again. Just run out of steam with the sentences.
Every week I think, well, I'm really going to make an effort now. I've chosen some records.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's as far as it goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe you should write out what you're going to say at the top of the show. Write that out.
No, that would be. I like to keep a little bit of, you know,
a little bit of something, a little bit of spark, a little bit of liveliness to it. Sure. How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to.
It's great to be out of the house again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just I was going to say, because we've been doing this for a long time now with a little break. But XFM are bringing new listeners all the time. I've heard 4 or 5 a week.
Really?
Yeah. New listeners tuned in to XFM 104.9.
Beware.
Yeah. Yeah. And we might take it for granted the people that know who we are, know who you are, know who Carl is. Now, if you're a regular, then you know exactly who we are. But for those of you who don't, I'm Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais, a BAFTA award-winning actor and writer.
Steve Merchant, all those.
Friend of yours.
Yeah, yeah. And this is the important thing. Carl Pilkington,
absolutely.
Our producer. I say producer. He was the bloke who was lumbered with a job. When I said, listen, I used to run the desk in the old days. I used to press the buttons and run the desk and everything. And now I said, listen, I've been on the telly. I do not press my own buttons. And Carl said, well, I don't really work weekends. And they went, well, you do if you want to keep your job.
Absolutely.
And we were lumbered with him. And then we discovered that he's not just a little dork, a little manky sort of idiot. He's got nice shirt. He's got, you know what I mean? He's got something else. He's got a certain
another dimension.
yeah. And he started having a little chat, and we discovered that he had quite a lot to say.
Well, I think absolutely right. And I think I was wondering we should maybe play another tune, but after that, I just think we should re-familiarise our radio audience with Carl, and any new listeners just somehow going to let them get to know the real Carl again.
Well, if you are new, you'll find that we like some old songs, some new songs, some chit-chat. We get serious sometimes. There's some tears and some laughter. We kicked off with Oasis' new one, Little by Little. We're going to go back in time now to Iggy Pop and his Stooges with I'm Bored. Iggy Pop on board on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
Steve Merchant here as well.
Yeah, little Carl Pilkington. Well, to reintroduce or introduce people for the first time to Carl, I think we should have a...
Yeah, maybe sort of a quick Q&A, Carl, and we don't need sort of lengthy answers from you. We don't need lots of detail. It can be just a couple of sentences.
Just to get a flavour of who you are.
Yeah, so firstly, name obviously Carl Pilkington. Age, Carl?
I'll be 30 next month.
Really?
This month? No, next. Where are we?
I don't think we need to ask any more questions. That's it. Welcome to the world of Carl Pilkington.
I thought it would take 3 or 4 questions
it was going to be at least,
to really explain
that was the first question. Absolutely
God.
incredible. But we can't really leave it there because we haven't got enough else to do to fill up the 2 hours. So let's pursue this line of inquiry.
Yeah.
Age? What was the age, Carl? In a couple of months.
When were you born?
I'll be 72.
Right. What month? What day?
I'm on the cusp.
You're on the cusp of the day. Well,
23rd of September.
okay.
72.
So anyway, okay, right, good.
You were talking there about obviously a star sign where you're on the cusp.
Yeah.
You believe in that, do you?
No.
You don't believe in star signs?
No, not really.
But you do believe in ghosts, I understand.
No, because
paranormal.
but the star sign thing, you've got how many different star signs, Ollie?
12, isn't it?
Right, and then you've got like loads of people.
Yeah. You do the math.
So they're saying that, there's only 12 different sorts of people in the world.
Exactly. That's exactly right. It's made up. It's made up nonsense. It's non-science.
It's pseudoscience.
It's yes. It's hairy man and dyed hair woman science.
Yes.
Innit?
All right. Anyway, back to you, Carl. Where were you born?
In Manchester.
Okay. What GCSE results did you get?
I got, was it an E? I got an E
You
in
got an E in
history.
history, and how did you find out that information?
You found out.
Because you thought you couldn't remember what you got, you didn't turn up, and you thought you'd done about 3, one of which wasn't history, and
I
actually...
knew I did art.
Yeah, you didn't. I'm telling you, you didn't, because we checked. You did 1. You turned up for history, you did history, you got an E in
I
history.
definitely did art. I made a little clay man.
Yeah, you got to register for O-levels. You don't just do it and then phone up and say, how was that? And I go,
I'm
"We
sending
don't."
you a clay man. See what you think. Send me a grade.
Yeah, there's all things, there's forms to fill out and things like that, Carl.
Anyway, go on. Who was your closest childhood friend?
Closest. At what age?
Well, when you were young, when you were...
I remember this. It's a fella. So is it someone making, innit?
Well, he wasn't really a close mate. Darren Buckley was me.
Darren Buckley?
Yeah, he was my
Tell us
close
briefly
mate.
about Darren. I've forgotten about Darren.
He's the one who, all the girls liked him. He had permed hair. He used to have his hair like a footballer.
Sure. Were you jealous of him?
His dad was a copper.
Did you hang around with Darren, like, in the hope of getting maybe his kind of cast-offs?
Nah, it's weird with me, and I wasn't that bothered about having loads of mates and that. I had lots of mates, but I could do without them.
You had a magpie, didn't you?
I was happy playing with my magpie.
Yeah, what happened to him?
It flew away.
Yeah.
But I wasn't bothered because it was giving me grief towards the end, wasn't it? It was popping me grifter tyres and that.
Yeah, sure.
Flying down, pecking me head.
Sure. Now, you went to school with a number of different interesting people. Some of whom
2
were
of which,
freaks.
I understand, had big heads and webbed toes.
Is that right?
Yet they were not related to each other, and they weren't friends with each other. Why weren't they friends with each other?
Because that'd be obvious.
Did they wear shoes, or did they walk around in their web?
Were they good at swimming? Were they good at swimming?
I don't know. I don't think they ever went swimming.
Did they ever talk? Did they ever look over at each other and think,
Yeah, we should hang out more.
I told you something in the week as well. There was another lad at school with a pigeon chest.
What?
can we come back to this?
He had a pigeon
I think we
chest.
should play a record, Carl, because I think we've hooked them now. I think
There's no one switching off now, Rick.
No, play a record. Blair, Coffee and TV. Carl, I said it's not the best Blair song when it was playing. You know, I don't want to diss it, but you know, it's not the best one. I mean, that's fact. Sure. You know, Carl went like a video though, a little milk carton.
Yeah.
Bit sad, it's tragic, isn't it? He went, this is all to himself, I'm not even joining in. And then he went, yeah, but it's alright at the end. He goes to husband, finds a little girl milk carton. Just lives out a little thing and is that like you on your paper round, that little milk carton, walking around like that? I imagine you... Oh, people don't know, but if you just tuned in, Carl had a paper round.
It's his favourite job ever.
And he maintains it's the best job he's ever had. Isn't it, Carl?
I'm in a rock mood.
Go on.
I don't know what's so weird about that.
It's a paper round.
Yeah, but look, forget all
It's
that.
fulfilling.
Look at the way it works, right? You get it out of the way at the start of the day, so you got the rest of the day to yourself.
That's the same as signing on.
Your own boss. You know.
Same as signing on.
Well, you're not your own boss. The guy at the news agency.
Yeah.
You're right. You've proven me wrong there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Nah. Yeah. Nah, not really. Would that stand up in court? Well, you were found with the dagger. Nah. Was I?
When are we playing the new game?
Oh, Carl's got a new game. Carl's very excited. I was
We were talking about something before.
Yeah, well, the freaks used to go. You had people with big heads, 2 web feet, didn't hang around each other. That would be too obvious. You had a fella with a pigeon chest.
Yeah, what's the story with the pigeon chest?
Don't know how it happened.
Next digit, please.
It was like it looked like somebody sort of hit him on the back with a big hammer, and it had come out at the front.
Yeah.
And I've never seen it since.
Could that have been the answer?
What? Why is that?
Possibly, I suppose, in your neck of the woods.
Yeah. Don't know. Never asked him.
It's just come back to haunt you, has it, the pigeon chest?
No, it's just that you know, when you mention about kids at school, I forgot all about him. You're talking about the kids with the web feet and the big heads.
Yeah.
And I forgot about the little old
pigeon
boy.
Yeah, pigeon. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm a big fan of that TV show. It's on digital TV. A lot of people won't have it, but Inside the Actor's Studio with James Lipton.
Yeah.
And he interviews lots of big Hollywood stars, and he always asks them these same questions at the end. Can I just run a few of them past you?
Go on.
Okay. So, if you could do any other profession other than the one you do now, what profession would you do?
Can you just change that to apart from a paper round?
Apart from a paper round. If you do any other profession, Carl.
And it doesn't matter about, like...
Doesn't matter if you've got the skills or anything, in an ideal world, if you had the ability.
Well, I think I'm about to buy somewhere, so I reckon something, you know, using tools and, like, doing a bit of plumbing and that.
So a plumber?
Well, sort of an all-rounder.
Right. A handyman?
Well, yeah. I think, you know, you don't get paid that much, but it's useful, isn't it? So...
But you could get your own show, couldn't you, with Carol Smiley eventually?
Well, all that, but the money that you don't make, you save by not having to pay someone else to do the chores. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know what that sentence meant.
Right. No, a plumber. How much is the average plumber on?
The money you don't make, you save on not getting someone else to do it. No, just think of that. No, look, break that sentence down. Are there any...
Sorry, Rick, but people who live in glass houses...
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just go back to Lipton quickly. We've got a couple to get through here. So, your favourite noise or sound? Favourite sound or noise?
Is it me?
No.
It's not me.
Hang on a minute.
It's not me. Are you sure it's not me, Carl?
All right, Elvis.
Noise. Elvis.
In the ghetto.
The sound of Elvis.
Elvis in the ghetto. Brilliant.
Okay. Yeah. And your least favourite noise or sound? I don't think it should really be records and music. Noises, things that you hear at home or whatever.
Maybe like a sound of a...
The least favourite noise?
Least favourite.
The sound of...
Probably like...
sound of ghosts?
Fire engines and that.
Right.
That's annoying.
Except if your house was on fire, presumably.
I think it's a bit unnecessary.
You think they're just doing it to wind people up?
I live on like a busy street and it's happening all the time, and it is like just sort of have a blast of it and people will hear it. You don't have to keep it going.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that is pretty annoying.
And if heaven exists, Carl, when you get to the pearly gates, what would you like God to say to you as he welcomes you into heaven? What would you like God to say to you?
Who asks these? What show's this?
It's a programme where celebrities are interviewed by a guy, an American interviewer, and he always asks these questions at the very end.
What would I say to God?
What would you say to God? Well, if you believed in heaven, and if heaven exists, when you eventually go up to heaven and you're welcomed in through the gates by
In your
God,
parka and your stussy t-shirt and your...
what do you want God to say to you as he welcomes you in?
Say, don't know, just be friendly.
How many ghost jobs have you got? Just go mental.
That's the reindeer section. Beautiful. Yeah, nice stuff. It's a kind of Scottish supergroup. Lots of different artists from Scotland.
Sebastian's got to be involved. Is it a singer from them?
It may well be, yeah, on that particular track. Different people, Mull Historical Society, Idlewild, Teenage Fan Club, different people from all those bands get together with a guy called Gary Lightbody from Snow Patrol, and he writes
And
the
all
tunes.
that on XFM 104.9, Steve.
Absolutely. Let me just name that track. That track was Grand Parade from their current album, Son of Evil Reindeer.
Feeder. Come back around on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. But who are you?
Oh, thanks for asking, Rick. Steve Merchant.
With us, Carl Pilkington. Well, Carl, no, I know I shouldn't, but I met Carl in the week against
I
Steve.
told you shouldn't do
I
this. You
know,
you should
but
wait
then when
till
he starts saying things like, "Oh, is this loud with the people?" I go, "No, save it," and we just sit there. And I'm scared to talk in case he goes. But you did tell me a couple of little things, didn't you? True stories that that I mean I enjoy. Can you tell Stephen about the Doctor?
Right.
Oh God. Is this something that happened to a friend of yours, or is this?
No, I read about it.
You read about it? Okay.
There's this little lad. Right.
Okay.
First of all, it's years ago, right? When they didn't have decent doctors in like every town and that.
Yeah.
And this little kid is dead ill, right? And the local doctor.
Well, there's a phone call involved, so I don't really
let
get
me
the
get
impression
to it.
that it's like medieval times. Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't say that. I just said it's years ago. So this kid's ill, right? And he's lying in the bed, and he's all going funny colour and that. And his mum says, "I'm going to get the local doctor round." The local doctor comes round, and she says, "Oh, I don't know what's up with him." He said, "Leave it with me."
With me.
He said,
the doctor said that?
"I'll have he said, I'll phone up a top doctor
Okay.
who was in America or somewhere like that." And So he goes to the phone in his office and he calls America, and because it's years ago, the phone line isn't that good, it's all crackly and that, right? So he's talking to the doctor and he's saying, I've got this kid, he's a funny colour, and you know, he's really weak and that. I don't know what to
He's
do.
not giving him much to go on.
Right,
Sure.
So the American doctor, right, he goes, yeah, what you want to do? And it's all breaking up, right? He goes, what you got to do? You got to, it's all breaking up. You've got to give him some parrot's blood, right?
Some parrot's blood.
Well, that's what he thought he said, but the line was really bad. He meant parents' blood, but he heard that he said parrot's blood. He said, right, I'll do that, leave it with me.
I can see where this is going.
He goes to a pet shop. He says, give us like half a dozen parrots.
Sure.
Takes them round to the kid's house, takes the blood from the parrots, puts it into the kid's fine.
The kid's fine.
It worked.
Such a load of shite in my life. Such twaddle, such just made up, enhanced, exaggerated bollocks in my
A
life.
load of old rubbish.
I mean, when he told me this, he said, the doctor said, what do I do? And the doctor on the other end said, give him some blood. And the doctor went, where do I get blood from?
So hang on, wait, I just need to
Where do I get blood from? Give him some parents' blood. Give him some parents' blood. Give him some parents' blood. Yeah.
But hang on, I just need to know where you
Sorry,
read this.
Carl.
Where was this from?
I stitched you up. You know what he said? He said, so do you believe it? I went, tell it to Steve. He went, do you believe it? I went, tell it to Steve. Carl.
Where did you read it?
That was on the internet.
What,
About
where is it on the
illnesses.
internet?
I'm always looking at stuff. I was looking at stuff this morning because of Yoragella last night. Eating all that funny food and that, and also they all got a bit scared last night, didn't they, with a snake?
I didn't see that. So is this I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out?
Yeah, they got all worried about a snake getting on the sort of wandering about in between the sleeping bags and stuff. Yeah, and they were all scared, and it is so
Leave
easy.
it with me. Sorry, the doctor says, leave it with me. Yeah. Leave it with me.
Well, they were all scared because there's a snake, and it's so easy to find stuff out. Before they, where are they? Where is this jungle?
Australia, I
Right.
think.
Before they went, give it half an hour on the internet. I found out with snakes, you don't need to worry. Right? They're deaf, they haven't got any ears, right? So as long as you're really quiet, they'll probably leave you alone. And also they don't have eyelids. So they were suggesting if one's coming towards you, just like kick sand in its eyes, because it can't blink and it leaves it a bit like annoyed and it wanders off. But they didn't do any research before they went.
Yeah.
And that's
I think your knowledge would hold you in good stead. I don't think you need to know any more than you know. Well, we're going to come back to that because he also explained to me where a saying comes from that I want you to be part of. But
and also we should mention as well, Carl, you've come up with a competition. Is this right?
brilliant competition.
he thinks this can go to television.
Is this an idea you've come up with?
Yeah.
Carl, I'm so looking forward to
So
it.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Continuing our exposure of myths and legends of Rockville Tale, we exposed that myth that some maybe older rockers have had it and they've got they were never any good, and the kids today,
Oh, I don't want to hear that.
people like Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart's a great artist.
Let's
He's a slightly laughable man, but a great artist.
let's go back to when he was rocking.
When he cut the mustard.
Yeah. Rod Stewart, You Wear It Well.
Great tune.
On XFM 104.9. Yeah, this doctor, I mean, we should find out who he is, really, and if he's still practising, because it worries me a little bit that he did that. Also, I mean, he thinks he's got away with it, but how could he be sure those parrots wouldn't talk?
True.
Do you know what I mean? There were 6 of them, they probably got together and they probably put it on the internet.
I mean, I feel that story, Carl, it asks more questions than it answers.
Yeah,
Really.
like most of your stories.
Yeah, that's the problem. I always feel like I need a little bit more information. Like, did the parrot boy continue to live?
Yeah.
You know, to a ripe old age, or did he die weeks later after this charlatan doctor who was going around, you know, spurious things?
Did he break his nose trying to crack a big nut?
No, I think he was all right. He lived to a.
See, I'd have shouted, if I was that doctor, I'd have shouted that down the phone. Are you sure you said parrot's blood?
Yeah.
You sure it was parrot's blood?
Listen, I mean, you know, I'm not the best doctor in the world, but did you say parrot's blood?
Yeah, but what you're forgetting is you're going back to the time where, like, they used leeches to do, like,
No,
blood transfusions.
we're going back to the late 70s if there's a phone call to America Direct.
Come on, Carl. They weren't calling America like in the medieval times or in the Victorian age.
Go on.
Can't think about it, Carl.
Yeah, of course it does.
You know, this has got to be like the like, you know, 30s or 40s, the earliest.
You
know?
You got a sort of gormless face like
I'm
him.
intrigued to know where this. I think there's someone on the web who's just putting information on there to lead you astray.
Yeah.
Because you're the only person who finds this stuff. Other people are using this to write
What were you
theses.
looking at that then? What were you looking
I always look at
What exactly is wrong
weird
with
stuff.
What were you looking for?
But what do you type in the search engine to find
What is it-
parrot
what-
blood stories?
What were you looking for?
There was this woman with a weird head.
Why were you looking for that? What were you
Just
doing?
because I'd heard about it. I'd heard, like, someone talking about it on another station.
Right.
About this woman with a funny head.
Right. I love the fact you're intrigued with these things. You go in the basement of Waterstones or Dillon's or somewhere, and there's these medical books that you're loving,
Yeah, but
mate.
this is free on the internet, isn't it? It's all there.
Yeah.
So what do you typed in? Weird head woman or
Lady with head.
yeah.
Weird people or something put in.
Yeah.
That
Did
came up.
you come up?
My husband's dead.
7,000 hits, Carl Pilkington.
But it's all there, isn't it? It's interesting. The one that I was telling you before about, what's the name? The lost letter.
The lost letter.
The
What's this?
lost postcard that's just turned up. Some woman sent a postcard years and years ago to a niece or something, right? And her niece was like 3 years old back then. And just now, like, I think like yesterday or the day before, it turned up. The postcard turned up 74 years late.
74 years
It
later.
took 74
And that
years.
3-year-old girl's been living in the same house that whole time.
Well, yeah,
Sure.
there's no weird
You see
about
what I
that.
mean? There's always a question you can ask to just scratch the credibility of these stories. There's always, it's like the apocryphal tale.
Was this the slugs? Was this those slugs from last week?
Yeah, well,
that
they're
were
holding back because they're slow. Because the postman slug is useless. His round takes him 74 years. Then you've got to go back to the beginning. He's got 74 years, and they can't carry the bag. That's why they go. That's why they turn to glue. That's why they turn to glue. It is
So
pitiful.
you don't believe that someone sent a postcard years ago and somehow it's been stuck in the bottom of a post bag or something, and it's only just
Stuck in the bottom of a post bag? That means that there's like a 95-year-old postman who's still
Yeah.
wandering around.
Did you have to pay like the difference and the charges?
We're looking forward to it already.
Because presumably it was
It wouldn't have had Queen Elizabeth's...
it was a
from,
penny
would it?
black. Presumably, was it?
What would be on the stamp? It would have been invalid, surely.
don't know.
See, these are the questions you should ask yourself.
Because if it's the postman's fault, the post office can't turn
Who was
around.
83 at the time himself, wasn't he? He was the...
No, he is dead. Yeah, he'll
Yeah.
be well and truly dead now.
Yeah.
But the fact is that the post office made an error, right? They lost this letter. It's only just turned up. They can't turn around and say, sorry about this, I hope it isn't urgent. It's turned up 74 years late, and by the way, you owe us 25 pence.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that, would
No,
they?
that's
So-
true, that's true.
so
That's
there
true.
you go.
You're asking questions, though, you see? That's true, you see? So, you're interested in that where sayings come from as well, aren't you? Because you told me one in the week, what that... I don't know if Steve's aware of that. Do you want to tell Steve this one?
What's this a
Can
saying?
we do this quiz?
Do
We'll
this
do the
first.
quiz later. I know you're excited about the quiz. Let's do that later. But what's this saying?
Right. What is the saying? Chucking a baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
Have you heard that phrase?
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. How would you use that?
Well, how would I use that? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I suppose if maybe you've been discussing something, you've come up with some plans, but you're slightly worried, and you might abandon the whole plan, whereas there might be some ideas in there which are still worth retaining. So you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
There might be something you can just change and you don't... Yeah.
There might be a few ideas you can salvage from an otherwise worthless one.
Well, the saying, right, comes from like years ago again. And
Pre or post phone?
and ages and ages ago, when like the bloke worked in the house, he was like the coal man, and then you had like
Right, it's important.
then like the mum is like she stays at home making the dinner, looking after the kids,
Yep.
and you've got like the little kid who's just growing up, just messing about and stuff. So what happens is, back then they didn't have like fresh flowing warm water every day. So all they could only afford to have like one full big bath of fresh water. So they'd fill up the bath, right? And then the dad would come home and he'd say, "Oh, I've had I had a tough day at work and that down the pit." And his wife would say, "It's all right, I'm putting the dinner on. You're going to have a nice warm bath."
So, because he gets to bath first.
Because he gets the bath first, because he's the grafter.
And he's
right?
covered in coal.
He's covered in coal, so the water's like minging by the time he's finished.
Yeah.
Right? And then the wife says, "Oh, after all my cleaning the house and doing the cooking, I'm a bit sweaty now.
She's covered in dust and grime. She's the next one.
I'll have a bath, right?" At the end of the line, there's a little baby. He's been playing out all day. Also got like little grubby knees and stuff. Needs to have a bath.
Yeah.
He goes in the bath, right? But because the water's so dirty,
Sure.
they go and empty the water out of the window. Can't see the baby in it. Chucking the baby out with the bath water. That's where it comes from.
I don't know what to say, Steve. Because I heard this. I'm just.
What do you think, Steve? Steve. So firstly, that sort of, I mean, that doesn't explain
Where do you
why-
start?
well,
You're struggling, aren't you? You're struggling where to start.
Firstly, I can't see how we've now applied this to,
I've been
the
thinking
example
of this.
that I
I've
thought
been thinking of
earlier.
this for days, Steve. Waiting for you to hear this one.
These coal mining parents
Yeah.
be negligent.
Yeah, I love
They've
the
left
fact that
their baby in the bath, unattended.
That's the way round to do it. The one covered in coal.
Yeah.
You go first.
Sure.
You go first. Don't wash the baby and then get in that.
Yeah.
You one covered in coal goes first.
Yeah.
That's the best idea.
Yeah.
Second most dirty one goes second, and then the clean little baby.
Yeah.
I think we should do him last because he's done nothing towards this family.
But more than that, Rick, leave him to his own devices.
Yeah.
Jack, I'm just going to throw the water out.
Yeah.
In the bath.
Don't check first.
Have you checked that the baby's done
Don't
it? No,
check,
I'm not
don't
even going to waste
bother.
my time
You'd
checking.
see it, you'd see
I'd
it.
be able to see
You'd
a baby.
see a baby in
If
there.
a baby was in here,
Yeah.
I'd be able to see it. I'm just
Yeah.
going to throw it out.
Yeah, I'm not even going to look, to be honest, Jack. We've
Not
all
even
had our
gonna look,
bath.
yeah.
If the baby's in there,
Yeah.
then it should be
Be
making
careful,
something.
Jack. We have lost 3 children this way. Don't worry. Where did you read that?
New single from Supergrass, Grace on XFM 104.9. Coming up in the next hour, Carl Pilkington's new game show. He's very excited about
I'm
this.
excited.
I'm excited.
We don't
I
know
can't
anything
wait.
about it, but it's gonna be
he's
dynamite.
told me it's going to be a winner. He said it's going to go to television.
Sure.
I need some adverts, though.
Oh, I'd love to hear some average.
Can we have just 2 or 3 minutes of adverts, please? Vines there, Steve. On XFM 104.9, Oliver Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington. Carl's getting very excited, as we all are, about his new... Should we let him do a little taster for us?
Well, I'm very excited about it. I mean,
So the gist of it, what is it? What is it exactly? Is
Right.
it a game show or is it a competition?
It's just thought it's something that you can play, and also people at home can take part in it.
now, would they phone in about this, or they can just play at home while they're listening?
They can just play at home.
Okay.
You mean we haven't got any prizes?
No, there isn't.
No, I think we could get him to phone in. Really?
Well, I don't know. Let's hear the game idea
Yeah.
first.
Right, it's music related,
Okay.
Good.
and what I do is I sort of tell a little story,
Okay.
and that story makes up a song title.
All right. Well, it sounds ambitious.
So
Is it a cryptic clue?
could be. Say like this, right?
Oh, dearie me. Oh, dearie me.
Say like this. This woman, right? She's pregnant. You know the answer to this one, so don't be saying anything. This is just aimed at Steve.
Okay.
Right. This woman has a baby.
Yeah.
She's pregnant, has a baby, and the doctor's there in the hospital, going, "Oh yeah, you've got a lovely little baby
Oh,
here.
you told me that this is... Oh, this game.
Got a lovely little baby. It's just coming out now. You'll be able to see it in a minute. And it's like covered in gunk and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's going, "Yeah, it's nearly here. It's coming out. I see its little head and that." And he gets hold of it, and it's full of all this gunk, right?
The baby's full of gunk.
Yeah, like the
Covered in gunk or full of gunk?
covered in it.
Right.
And he goes, "Here you go. Get hold of your baby," and he drops it.
Right.
What song's that?
There's so much irrelevance there, Steve. I can't tell you. It's not a cryptic clue. It's not a cryptic clue. Because only... I mean, the gist of it is relevant.
That isn't the best one. That's just...
Right, I mean, there is just... There's things there that you were dwelling on and thinking of pun. Don't. Just go for gut instinct. What was it? What was that?
Right,
How was-
I just need to try and get the basics of this. There's a woman, she's pregnant, she has a baby.
Yeah.
The baby's covered in gunk.
Yeah.
Right,
And because of the gunk, the doctor drops the baby.
yeah.
And that's all I need to know.
Yeah, that is all you need to know, yeah. Pregnancy's largely irrelevant.
Okay, what are the key elements?
It's the birth and the doctor dropping it that are irrelevant. The
The
relevant
birth
thing.
and the dropping of the baby. I've absolutely no idea. I can't even begin to guess.
Think about what's happened here.
Oh, Carl,
She's had a
isn't-
baby, the doctor's trying to deliver it, he's saying it's a nice little baby you've got here.
This is all irrelevant. This is all irrelevant. Right, let me tell you this. So just to be fair to Steve, so he can get into your mind. Right, this is not a traditional cryptic clue, logical problem. This is Carl. What song am I thinking of? Right, that is Underworld, Born Slippy.
I have to say, actually, that makes textbook sense.
Yeah.
No, that does
Yeah.
actually. No, I'm sorry.
Do you like all the story about it's all right, you can see it in a minute, or is it covered in gunk? Yeah.
No, I agree there is some extraneous detail.
Yeah,
but I have
okay.
to say
Yeah.
that
Born was good because it was that's the look of it.
Yeah.
Born was good, yeah.
and Born Slippy, no, I was quite impressed by that, Carl. I have to say, no, to be fair to you, I'm not just patronising you.
Oh well, wow.
I actually think that was really good, and I disrespect Ricky Gervais for slagging that off, because I actually think that was quite
Well,
good.
let's go ahead with it then. On your
I feel
idea.
we could maybe open this up to email correspondence or
Okay,
or the
let's
phone
go
lines.
for it then. Okay, this is Carl Pilkington's new game show idea. It's
Just what's the song?
Carl Pilkington presents What's the Song? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Carl Pilkington.
Okay,
What's the song?
then.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's play a record. Let's come back after
Give out
that.
the number ready for him.
Well, you should make a note of this. You can email us. The email's up and running. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. What's the phone number, Carl? Have you got it?
It's 08700 800 1234.
Okay.
08700
800
1234.
Make a note of that, and we'll have a game of what song is Carl thinking of after this next track.
What do you want to play?
What have you got lined up there?
Oh, continuing again. Old fogies who were good once, and I won't
Absolutely.
hear a thing said against the new kids out there. It's not all new metal, is it?
True enough.
This is Cat Stevens, a little known album, Mona Bone Jack on, and this one's called Trouble. It's a lovely song. Cat Stevens, Trouble, from Mona Bone Jack on XFM 104.9, playing some new songs, playing some old songs.
True enough, Rick, true enough.
Playing some old games, some chit-chat, some tears, some laughter, and Carl Pilkington with his brand new show, What's the Song?
What song am I thinking of?
Now, I mean...
You're nervous about this, aren't you, Rick?
I am.
You're worried.
Well, because I've heard some of these clues before, and
have to say,
they're ramblings. Sometimes they're close to ramblings of a fool, right? And it really is like those. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
I
don't know though. I actually was genuinely impressed by Born Slippy. I have to give him the benefit.
That's one of the better ones.
Because
because that was short, sweet, and it worked.
some of these that you say they're not going to be quite as pissy.
Some of them are like Emily Bronte novels. Now listen. We're just going to go for it then. You do it, and we just get people to call up because I want to see the general public's confusion trying to work out.
Well, why don't you give us your next clue, and then we'll play a track, and then we'll hopefully have people on the line after the track to try and answer it, and you can recap briefly. So give us your clue now for what song am I thinking of?
Right, this one, it's about a woman, and she's just normal, nothing wrong with her, or so she thinks, right?
But there's the twist. Is this like the Tales of the Unexpected?
And she's got like, she's got her mates and she's having a normal life, having a good time and that. And then this thing happens, right? And she starts to stink. And she can't have a bath, right? And she really wants to have a bath. She's dead sweaty and stuff. She's going about her daily stuff. She can do everything else normal. She can eat, she can talk, everything. But for some reason, she can't have a bath.
Is there a coal mining husband in the bath?
Yeah. Is this Born Stinky?
She can't have a bath.
So a woman can't have a bath.
Yeah.
Is that
it?
the rest of her
Or a
life?
shower. She can't.
Okay, leave it there, Rick. Don't try and guess. It's not fast to guess.
The general public can phone up and ask questions, so I just
I'm
go
not sure
for
they
it.
can they?
I think so. Otherwise, we don't want just people just phoning
Well,
up and
I'll tell
getting
you
it.
what about this? Why don't they can ask one question?
Yeah.
They can ask one question of Carl, then they have to make a guess.
Okay.
08700 800 1234.
Have we got someone on the line now?
We'll just
Go, let's do it. Let's go for one. Let's go for one. This
I'm
is
excited.
edgy radio.
This is
Letting Carl
dynamite stuff.
Right,
live. Go on.
Hello, XFM.
Hello, I'm ringing about what's the song?
Absolutely. What do you think?
Well, I'm going for Dirty Diana.
Dirty Diana.
See, that works.
That's a great guess.
It does. Yeah, but it doesn't work because why can't she have a bath?
Okay, so the answer is in
I was
there.
going to ask you.
Well, that's your one question.
That'd be the answer.
That would be the answer, I'm afraid. What was your name?
Shelley.
Shelley, thanks very much.
Shelley,
I'm afraid the
I
answer's-
should tell you that, you know, that you should never take this personally because no one can really get into the mind of Carl. So don't, you know, beat yourself up about this. I don't expect anyone to get these clues.
No.
So well done. That
good
is a
guess.
fine guess.
That's
Thank
wrong
you.
guess.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else there?
That's hello XFM.
Who's that on the line?
It's Chris.
Hello, Chris. A question for Carl? Before you give us a guess?
I haven't thought of a really good question or anything yet.
You just want to go for the guess?
Well, no, what I thought was, I'm sure Simon Mayer needed a breakfast show on Radio 1 years ago.
No, it didn't.
So you've just pinched this idea, Carl?
If you're going to rip someone off, Carl, do not rip off Simon Mayo.
I haven't ripped this off. I thought this was a new idea. I was going to do it with sound effects instead, but that's...
Yeah, he used to do that, and he used to get his team to play other characters. And
You idiot.
Well, no, hang on.
Not you, Chris. I'm saying you idiot to Carl.
Well, nothing's new anyway, is it? So I'm not getting annoyed about it.
Very true.
What do you think the answer is?
Is it Cornflake Girl by Tori Amos?
Good answer. She couldn't have a bath because she'd go all
She goes
floppy.
sloppy and then go down the plate.
Good answer.
She's all soggy. Yeah.
so
It's
you-
not, is it Cornflake Girl?
No, it's not, but
That's a great answer.
it could have been.
You're already seeing the error of this, aren't you?
I think this is great radio. I'm
know.
really hooked on this. I'm
But this-
genuinely excited
This
now.
is really like that. Those so-called lateral thinkers. A man got into a field and dies. Why?
Yeah.
He ran out of air. No,
Yeah.
not the one I'm thinking
was
of.
shot.
Well,
No.
Yeah.
That
go
was a
on.
good
Well,
answer, but...
couldn't, like, Simon Mayo, sue you or something for doing it?
Will you stop? Don't mention that.
Yeah.
Listen, I think if you're going to steal ideas from someone, it should be a brain box like Mayo. I mean, he's the man.
Yeah, the only example of one I can ever remember hearing his show, because I was quite young then, was some people were pretending to like tap someone's phone or something, and then they got caught, and the answer was just bugging by whistle, because they were...
Genius.
That was absolute genius.
That's absolute genius.
See,
Chris, we're gonna-
Carl,
know if
that's the
Carl's
sort of
ever
standard
done
you've got to
that.
come up against.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, Chris.
the phone lines are hot.
Hello XFM.
Hi, is it Candy Perfume Girl?
Is it what?
Candy Perfume Girl.
Candy Perfume Girl?
Candy Perfume Girl.
Is it? Well, who's that by?
Madonna.
No, it's...
That sounds like an obscure album track.
No,
Wow.
one of her songs.
Just
That
think
is it.
about it. She stinks and everything. She's a normal life. I didn't say she was a sweet or anything. But for some reason she can't have a bath or
Is
a
this
shower.
a big song? Just to give him a clue. Is
It's
this?
a bigger song than Candy Sweet Girl.
Thank you
was a
very much
single.
indeed for your guess. It clearly is
Thank
right.
you.
It was-
Cheers.
it was a-
Sorry.
you know. we
Okay.
play-
One more, then we go to a record. Come on.
Okay.
Go on. Hello XFM.
Carl,
Yeah.
is it High and Dry by Radiohead?
Hi and
High and dry. Now that's great. She smells, which is another word for high. She's dry because she doesn't have a shower. Carl, if it isn't that, yours will never be as good as that. He's the winner. Whatever you're thinking of, that clue is brilliant. What's your name, mate?
It's Richie.
Richard. I mean, you can't beat that.
That's a bit too lateral.
Don't be stupid. It's perfect. He's made yours into a clever clue. He's made high, she smells, dry, she never gets in the bath or shower. It's not that, is it, Carl?
No, it's
You
not.
don't even get that, do you?
Not
Have you
really.
ever have you ever heard of the word high being used to mean sort of smelly?
No.
No, no. That was where you went wrong there, mate.
Richard, I'm declaring you the winner, even though that isn't the
I
answer.
don't think
Thank
we
you.
should give up this early.
Can we just let's play a song and,
Let's play a
and
song.
give it one more chance because
Yeah.
if people think about it, it is really easy.
I'm not going to find out the answer now, because I've got to go out.
Okay, we'll do it very quickly. Stay in for 10 minutes.
We're just going to play a new
Okay.
Coldplay track out.
Okay, let's see
Brilliant.
Coldplay and then we'll come
Cheers.
back with this.
Coldplay, One I Love. That's for Nick, Neil, Olivia in Tower Bridge.
Absolutely, and also Nikki from Bromley who emailed in. She's enjoying the show and she wanted a bit of Coldplay. That's the B-side of the current single.
This is
In
a
My
great
Place.
show, isn't it? We've got great music, we've
Great
got
music.
laughs, tears, we've got requests, we've got Simon Mayo games.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a bit. It's just like Radio 1 for less
Exactly.
people.
Exactly.
Radio 1 for less people. This is great, isn't it?
So,
go on
so
then.
listen, Carl, you were so excited about this game, weren't you, earlier? You came in with a
But I
hop,
knew it
skip,
would
and a leap in your
fall flat.
step.
Although I must say the phones are going mental. We're going to have to take
This
some
is
more
it, no,
calls.
people
I
love
mean,
Carl.
high and dry is great. I mean, it works. That's it.
Can we have a very quick...
Just recap in case someone's
yeah,
just
yeah,
joined in.
quick
Can you
recap.
make it? Can you make it so high and dry doesn't work now? Give us a bit of information that makes it different to high and dry, or can't
So
you
for those that
do
have just
that?
tuned in, Carl describes, in a roundabout way, a story which somehow is representative of a song. Is
A
that
song
right?
title.
A song title,
Yeah.
okay.
So this woman, she's all right. You know, she has a normal life,
Pretty much.
kind of.
Yeah.
There's probably a few things actually that she can't do thinking about it. But the main problem would be having a wash or having a bath or having a shower.
Yeah.
Maybe going for a swim thinking about it.
Right. I think water is the clue, isn't it? That's the clue.
Alright, so
Who's that on the line?
Hi there, it's Mark.
Hello, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Right,
What do you think?
Smells Like Teen Spirit, Nirvana.
No, it's not.
That's a great guess. Smells like Teen Spirit again. He's also
No.
brilliant. Thank you, Mark. Well done.
No, it's not that. Alright, hello XFM.
Oh, that's a dodgy mobile.
Oh, that's a bit of a clue.
A dodgy
Hello
mobile.
XFM.
Oh, they've just given up. They've all been going for Smells Like Teen Spirit. They just hung up.
Hello XFM.
Hi, is it, She's Electric?
Excellent.
She's electric. It makes sense. That's fantastic.
Oasis,
Carl.
she's electric.
Why does she smell?
Because she doesn't have a bath and that. Because she can't have a bath or a shower. What's your name?
Neil.
Neil
So
got
there's
it.
that. Oh.
Neil got it. So, did you get it straight away?
No, only, during the song.
A process of elimination from all the other wrong answers.
Yeah, basically.
So,
She's electric.
Rick, I have to say, you're holding your head in your hands, and it looks like you want to shoot off. But I have to say, I thought that was quite good. I genuinely thought that was quite good.
But it's not a cryptic clue, is it? Because it's not. She smells. There's a few things you can't do. She's electric.
yeah, but do you understand what I'm getting at? She's electric.
I always understand what you're getting at, Carl. That's never been a problem in the years I've known you.
Neil got it.
Yeah.
She's
I have to
electric.
say, Rick, I think you're down on this idea. I could definitely see that ITV1 replacing Celebrity Get Me Out of Here. Carl Pilkington hosting.
Simon Mayo on the phone
Exactly.
to the lawyers.
Well, Neil, there's no prizes or anything, but well done.
Well done. That was well worth it. Right.
Well, you go away with the award in the knowledge that you've beaten Carl.
Yeah. You can secure the knowledge that you thought how Carl does.
Absolutely. Well done, Neil. I have to say, I think you're being harsh on him. I think that's a great game.
All right, let's do it again next week.
I
Then.
thought that was a great game.
Brilliant.
Well
Play
done,
record. Play record.
What do you want to play?
Oh, you know, I tell you, we've been playing some oldies, Rick, and I've enjoyed them all. But I think I've been in love with this song for many, many years. And when I saw it, reminded of it in Con Air, the film Con Air. Remember they stick it on in Con Air, and it's just dynamite. Lynyrd Skynyrd.
I love this.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh,
play it.
turn this up. What's it got to you, sir? Crank it up. Turn it up. Sweet Home Alabama. Lynyrd Skynyrd. Strange and Beautiful, Aqualung, or as Carl says, Aqualung, on XFM 104.9. Well, it seems that Carl's clue, did go down quite well. Some other people got it. The game show as a whole has been well received.
Well, I have to say the email. You know, we've had loads of emails, Rick. You know, I mean, we've had let me just count 2.
Yeah.
And one of them was aimed at Simon Mayo. Came to us by mistake. They thought they were listening to Mayo.
Yeah.
And the other is saying, Carl, they love the game show.
Radio 1 with less people.
Yeah. So despite the fact it was a stolen idea, I think we can do it again next week.
Just
Next week, let's rustle up some prizes as well.
You're just like your little magpie, aren't you? Thieving shiny ideas from Mayo's nest.
Absolutely. We played Lynyrd Skynyrd just before the ads, and I was just looking at the compilation it comes from.
It's a great compilation.
We took this from Driving Rock.
Yeah.
Which I imagine
This is not available in the shops.
Exactly. I imagine it's come straight from the personal collection of maybe Tarrant or Foxy.
Or Canfield.
But there's some great names on here that I'd like to see. Maybe we could
He's
play
a little
them.
Vance, isn't he? He's a tiny Vance.
Exactly.
You know, like you're a little Mayo. Canfield's a little Vance.
I mean, these are some names. You just
Go
don't.
on.
I haven't heard them for a long time. I'd love to hear them again. Alana Miles. Black Velvet.
No, rubbish.
Rhea. You don't hear Rhea, no?
Chris Rea?
Yeah.
Well, what one?
Spin Doctors.
Oh, God.
Lest we forget the Spin Doctors. Crash Test Dummies. What happened to them?
Dunno.
Who else we got on there? Richard Marx.
Yeah.
Mr. Big.
I didn't. He's guilty in that song when he goes, I swear I did, and all that. And the police came around. Well, there's no smoke without fire. I reckon he did it. To be honest, I reckon he murdered her.
You're absolutely right. Go on. Legs, ZZ Top.
She knows how to use them.
She does
She
indeed.
knows how to. It's what it is. It's electrical impulse from the brain.
Yeah. How is she using them? What's
She's
she up
just.
to?
She's just. It's
The brothers do beer on her as well.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with them.
Absolutely no. Starship.
Yeah.
And Toto as well. You're a big
Africa?
fan. It's not actually.
What is it?
Can you name another Toto track?
Hold the line.
It's Hold the Line.
Let's rock. Put that on.
Is it good? Is it good
Let's
stuff?
down.
Is it good stuff?
When session musicians get together. Oh, we
Can
got
we
to
hear
play
a quick little blast?
Oh,
It should
go
be.
on.
Is that disc
Oh,
still in
play
there?
a little bit. Hold the line. It's
That should
great.
be. That should be track. Let me see. That's
no.
probably track 10.
I hope this doesn't annoy too many people. Like we're worried.
Yeah.
yeah. We like to keep our radio slick.
Is this it? This is not it.
Yeah. Whack up with it.
Right, yeah. We're
Yeah.
playing.
That was dynamite.
That was great.
We'll have some. I think we should have like a classic rock anthem every week.
Do you not
think? I
I'd
mean,
love to. I'd love to.
dynamite.
Bit of Rainbow maybe next week. Who knows?
Man alive.
Phone in if you want to hear some classic rock.
Classic rock indeed.
Oh, we ripped off Mayo. Let's do Vance.
Absolutely. Let's just steal ideas from other better DJs.
Okay. What can we
There's
have?
some great ideas out there, I'm sure.
I mean, if you want to like any fix-its done, if you may want to eat a packed lunch on a roller
On
coaster,
a roller coaster, yeah, with some Boy Scouts.
or dance with Bananarama,
Yeah.
then we're
Or 5-star.
yeah.
I love the fact 5-star reform. There's 3 of them. Have you heard about this? No.
Turn left. White Stripes on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington. Well, I had a good time.
I've enjoyed it. Yeah, it's been nice. It's been fun.
Some good tracks, some laughs, a new competition by Simon Mayo. That was
Absolutely.
that was great.
Yeah, yeah. Carl, have you heard the big news? That Ricky Gervais is looking to take up. Well, you explain it, Gervais, because I'm not.
it's not
I'm
big news.
No.
What are you talking? What do you mean?
You're taking up boxing, is this right?
No.
What is the story? You're
right.
fighting for money?
No. What? Yeah, bare knuckle fighting.
No, come on, what is it?
No, all it is. I've been watching this show on cable called Born to Fight, and it's sort of late. It's a late one. We flick round, and I think it's on After Roadies. Which is like
Roadies?
Yeah, it's one bloke with a camera that goes on tour with different people. Like he went on with Motorhead. He went with a Meatloaf tribute act. He went on with Coldplay was in one of them. It's just that, and it's the
Is
sort of
this
this
when
cheap
all the
sort of
other
cable.
channels has been switched off?
Yeah,
This is the only one left.
exactly, yeah. And there's one called Born to Fight, and they just take a different story. It might be like an amateur fight, or it might be an unlicensed fight, not illegal, or it might be white collar, which I'm thinking of doing.
What's white collar?
White collar is just people who want to fight, and it's organised.
Is it
It's
like Fight
chari-
Club?
Yeah, but it's charity. It's safe. It's a charity do. You know, having like big events, and it's just 2 people that aren't boxers, aren't amateur boxers, and they get in the ring. They do three 2-minute rounds, and they just lay into each other. They've got head guards on, and
Look, I don't mean to alarm you, but we work together, obviously, and we make the office and stuff. Your face is my fortune. I can't have
that
it
must be a
being-
bit of a worry for you.
It is. I'm not going to say. Well, your heart as well is also a concern.
Yeah.
And you're eating and stuff.
But
so
when I said I was going to get fit, you were going, no, Gervais, you're only funny because you're fat.
No, I agree. This is true, but I'm saying there's a difference between being fit.
Yeah.
And I would say,
Getting
for instance,
your face
don't eat kind of cheese and bacon, on their own
All day.
all day
Right.
for breakfast. So what I'm saying is there's a difference exercising and then having your face beaten in. And what I'm saying is that I just don't think it's a good idea.
But I might win.
No, well, I don't. That's irrelevant. You're still going to take a couple of blows to the face, and the point is this, Rick: you're not going to win.
Why?
Because you are delusional. You think that you are probably the world's greatest boxer. I know. Ever since I've known you, you seem to think that it's the case because you've watched all the Rocky films. And you think that's fair enough, that seems straightforward enough. But look at your physique, you've got some upper body strength, but, you've also got some lower belly strength as well, I've noticed. And my concern is you're going to go in there and you're not only going to be a broken man when you realise that you're just not as handy in the ring as you thought you were, but also you're going to incur some injuries.
This
You
is
wear
fighting
masks.
talk. This is fighting talk.
The first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club.
This ones we want to do it more now, just because of you. It was the same when Adrian didn't agree that Rocky could beat Clubber Lang.
Yeah.
Oh, she made that mistake. Then she made the same mistake
At
with
what age,
Drago.
Rick? At what age?
She turns up at the end to take a bit of the credit, didn't she?
When you were this kind of thin, nimble youth in your makeup and your eyeliner and all the rest of it, I bet you had no thoughts about boxing. It never came into your mind, did it? So at what age did you suddenly think, wait a minute, I've taken the wrong path in life? I could be the world heavyweight.
I don't think I could.
When have you suddenly decided that you can suddenly be a bit street tough? I don't understand why this has suddenly come about.
Well, I'm not
in
putting
later
out a
life.
shout, am I, to fight people? It's not like Noel
But you've got to
Gallagher and
find
Robbie Williams.
But you've got to find someone else presumably to fight with.
Yeah, but it'd probably be a businessman who wants a fight.
Right. You know, there's something really weird about that. Don't you think that's like... Have you just listened to yourself? I want to fight I want to fight a businessman. Please may I fight a businessman?
I want to fight a businessman.
You just said.
I want to fight someone who wants to... You know, I mean, it's just not...
I want to fight them, though. I want to fight somebody.
Did you realise it sounds a bit mad?
Bring them on. I want to fight people.
No, but it's more the effort and the training, the commitment to it, like climbing a mountain. I mean, I think climbing a mountain and doing a marathon is ridiculously macho. It's not the fact that you can do it.
No, that's not macho.
Well, it is macho, isn't it? Climbing, there's no reason to climb a mountain, there's no reason to do a marathon. If you can run a mile, that's all you need. The fact that you train is whether you can do it yourself and achieve something. And this is more like the training and the learning skill and then seeing if it works. I don't want to get in there.
But aren't you concerned about you might get beaten? Or you might get beaten up, I should say.
No, what's the worst that can happen?
You'll get black eyes, bruises, and
bruises.
Mate, let me just remind you of the time we were working in your flat, right? And you immediately, right, I don't know to this day what happened, but you started choking. You clasped your chest. You were breathing, wheezing. Right? I leapt over to you. I remember screaming, I don't know the Heimlich manoeuvre.
Yeah.
If you've swallowed something I can't help.
Yeah.
You gained your breath. You gained your composure.
Yeah.
I said, what happened? Did you eat something? Did you go down the wrong way? You said, no, I swallowed some dust. I swallowed some dust. You breathed some dust in that was in the air. There was some dust in the air. You breathed that in. It knocked you out for 2 days. You were in bed for 2 days.
I love that.
I don't think you're the man for the job.
And that's some dust. What do you think this businessman's going to do?
Exactly.
Hurt me permanent. Hurt you permanent.
Yeah.
He'll hurt you permanent.
You found a lump, didn't you, on your testicle? Once we sat in a doctor's waiting room, I remember, for about 45
You've got to have them
minutes.
checked out. It was fine. I think I went twice, didn't I? I said to the doctor at one point, I said, did you check round the back?
Yeah.
I was thinking he hadn't checked it. Yeah. Oh, dear.
Just because they hadn't found anything. My point is this. You're something of a hypochondriac. You know you're something of a hypochondriac. You know that already. So, why do you think this is going to be any different?
Wow.
If you take when you take the first blow to the head, you take the punch, you'll immediately think that you've got some kind of, brain disorder.
No, I've always wanted to do it, but I just thought, I wanted to make sure, I wanted to know that I definitely lost my looks.
Right.
And I've seen some of the publicity shots, I've got mirrors and mouths, so now, because I've definitely lost my looks now, I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So I want, maybe a younger, more handsome man, I want to teach him a lesson.
I'll end with this.
Right.
For people who listen to this show regularly, you already sound like you're punch drunk. Alright? And that's just your natural way of talking. Please, let's not do the real thing.
Oh, play a record. Oh.
I mean, is it going to be televised?
Well, we could get it on DVD, maybe release
Alright,
it.
now I'm interested.
Okay.
Is there money to be made?
Yeah, lots of money.
Well, maybe we should talk about it.
Okay. On XFM 104.9.
You join us now live at Shippy Old People's Home, where TV star Ricky Gervais is taking on his first non-professional bout. Ricky, who are you fighting this evening?
A bloke called Pete Smedley.
Okay, Pete Smedley. How old's Pete?
He's 72.
72 years old.
Yeah.
And you're very excited about the fight, I know.
Yeah,
Pete's just recovered from a massive coronary, hasn't he?
Well, I don't want to get into that. He's deemed himself fit, and that's good enough for me. If he wants to fight, listen. Right, someone just called up and said they'll fight me. He sounded pretty tasty. I said, how tall are you? He said 5'11". I said, what do you weigh? He said 13 stone. I said, how old are you? 27. I explained to him I'm looking for someone a lot older and smaller.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lot older and smaller.
Don Estelle. If Don Estelle from what was it?
I'm going to show you now, Steve. Listen, no, it's just a sport. They go, don't go into badminton. The shuttlecock can hurt your eye. It's just a sport.
Okay, fair enough. We'll I'm sure resume this conversation next week. When of course we'll also be playing more of Carl's new brilliant game with prizes. Hopefully.
Yeah. Simon Mayo's What Is Carl Thinking?
Absolutely. I'll leave you with a song for the ladies, Rick, if I may. This is by my friend Harry. You may know he sends me tracks every so often that I should listen to, and this is a particular favourite of mine. Pretty Please, it's by Kevin Tehista's Red Terror. I don't know if I've pronounced that right, but enjoy that, and we'll see you next week.
Let's get ready to rumble. Coldplay and In My Place on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant.
Hello
Steve,
there.
how's it going?
Lovely to be here.
Carl Pilkington there, pressing the buttons.
Great to be here.
Yeah.
How long can you maintain it?
I'm bored already.
Yeah, already bored of doing it.
Bored already.
Every week you start it the same way.
Yeah.
That was not bad though. You actually grammatically made sense, which is
Really?
impressive. Yeah.
Thanks very much.
A rare treat indeed for
Yeah.
Gervais.
Some of the listeners have already worked out. Got nothing to say at all.
Sure.
Haven't prepared again.
No.
We did come in half hour early to prepare, but instead me and Carl were playing. You had to flick the football into the bin. We
Right.
had 5 goes each, or the world was going to end.
Okay.
And that took up.
That took up a good 25 minutes.
Yeah, I liked it when we came back, and then we started just trying to beat each other in the corridor, and I beat him. I scored a goal. He was gutted because he thought he fancied himself at football, and I beat him. And I was knackered and sweating.
Yeah.
As I walked back to you about 5 minutes ago, you were looking through the records. You went, and this was lovely. You went. Well, we've done the preparation then.
Yeah.
Like a sarcastic teacher.
Yeah, like a teenager, like an annoyed teenager whose parents have embarrassed him once again. And you beat Carl, did you?
Yeah.
Because you're not. I mean, you're not.
I'm not good at football,
Well, you're
no.
not particularly nimble on your feet.
Oh, come on.
No, you're not. Douglas Bader is more nimble.
I'm all right. I'm
You're
all
not.
right. But Carl's sort of, I think he's got more skills than me, but he hasn't got the aggression and the weight.
Yeah.
So I just pushed him aside.
Yeah, good work.
Yeah, I'm going on holiday.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm not here next week. What are you going to do, Carl? Are you going to do the best of or something next week, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what we've got to sort out.
Well, I can't sort it out. I've got to go to the airport
No,
afterwards.
straight after the show you've got to do some links.
No, I'm not doing any links. I said I wouldn't, so...
That's what we planned.
No, we didn't. I said I'd do some during the show, and then you
I thought you were joking.
I honestly can't do it today, so we do some during the show. What are you going to do? Just put the shows that we've done in this year?
Sorry, guys. I hate to interrupt. This is the sort of stuff we should have been discussing when you were playing football.
I know. Play what are you going to play?
Let's have a bit of Foo Fighters. Let's just discuss this off there.
Okay. Foo Fighters there, learning to fly. Steve, I hope the pilot that I get today flying the plane that I'm going on holiday in has already learned to fly.
Oh, well done. That is dynamite. That's a textbook link.
Yeah.
That's genius. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Where are you going? What's the story?
Yeah.
Where are you off to?
Sorrento,
Where's that?
sort of South Italy.
Italy.
Yeah.
What are you like on holiday? Are you a nightmare? Are you the like? Because you're quite. But you're quite. I mean, obviously, I've often said on the radio before that I'm spending any length of time with you is one of the most unbearable things I've ever had to do. I mean, spending a week with you is nightmarish, and sharing any kind of accommodation is. Do you know what I mean? No, seriously. I mean, it's like hell. It's like a living hell. It's like having a teenager.
No,
It's like having a sort of teenage kid who can't be entertained by anything.
Just chill out.
Just chill out, dude. Just max relax.
Yeah, max relax.
Yeah, sure. And and so if you're in somewhere like Italy, like somewhere like that, because obviously a very beautiful city and very cultured and stuff. So is that something that you enjoy? Do you enjoy the culture of that, the beautiful architecture, let's say?
A hotel's the same anywhere. As long as there's room service and a nice swimming pool and it's nice weather.
Sure.
If it's not, I'm annoyed. And I need to blame someone.
And is it true that you go, because you go to Italy most years, don't you? Is that because that's the only food you like?
I like pasta and pizza. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been to other places. I went to France once and. That you can't explain to them to cook it just cook it properly. I don't want any to cook it. There's blood in the middle of that.
Yeah, sure.
Hungary, it was just I went there for a while and I couldn't identify the animals they were killing for me.
Yeah.
So I know quite a lot about natural history.
Sure.
And I couldn't identify what was on the plate.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Came
I'm a
home
bit
early, did you,
squeamish.
after a couple of days?
No, I just got annoyed and I went to McDonald's.
Yeah. Well, that's the great thing about McDonald's is they are in most major cities.
No, but you can't go wrong with
So if I was
pasta
with you on
and pizza.
holiday and we were hanging out or whatever, and I took you to say maybe a beautiful cathedral, is that something you'd enjoy? I can't quite imagine you actually taking the time to.
Well, as long as it's not a very long walk, we don't have to stay there more than a couple of minutes. I'd love to look around places.
Right, so you'd look at the cathedral.
Yeah.
That's taken, that takes people's breath away. People travel from around the world to see that. And how long would you
I don't
stay
know travel
looking
around the world to see it. I think they go somewhere and they go, well, we might as well look at the cathedral. You can't miss it. They're huge.
Yeah. And would you sort of spend any time looking at that? Would you just sort of soak in the atmosphere for a moment, or would you?
I'd look at it and I'd go, that's brilliant. And then if there was any sort of soaking in, I can do that later when there's nothing to look at.
Right. What
there's less to do.
Your memory of it later when you're in the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can sort of,
And would you? So can you be kind of in awe of something like that?
Yeah.
Beautiful architecture and the fact that
if it's big, okay. If I go in the cathedral and it's I've seen bigger, I go, oh, seen bigger. If it's the biggest I've seen, I go, that is huge.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That lets you off.
Yeah.
Sure, because you're a sort of man who gets bored, and this is true, Carl. You may not be familiar with this. Ricky Gervais is a man who gets bored drinking a glass of water.
It's boring.
Because it's not flavoursome enough.
No, it's not.
It's not got enough flavour.
It's absolute bore. The only Jane's got me onto fizzy water, which at least got something there.
Right.
But I only drink that when I'm sort of dehydrated in the middle of the night. I never drink a drink of water.
No.
It is boring.
Yeah, yeah. But that's why you've always got headaches, and you're always
Apparently, yeah.
moaning and stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
And that's
sort
one of the reasons I hate you. But when I say hate you, I don't mean I hate you. I didn't mean I didn't mean to blur it out that strongly. What I mean is, if I'm spending a lot of time with you. I
Once, right, he said, well, we're in the BBC canteen, and I was sort of like, and he just put his knife forward, and I said, I'll never eat with you again. I said, what's the matter? He said, you annoy me. I hate eating with you. It annoys me. It looks like a child food. It's just you eat chips and sausage and rubbish. You don't eat, look at you don't touch your vegetables, you don't drink water. He said, he really got annoyed.
Because you've got this, like, this hatred of anything that's good for you. You won't eat any form of salad. You just...
Why do I eat salad?
Because it's good for you and
Lettuce is boring. Lettuce is absolutely boring. Cucumber are boring.
But the thing is, you see, I admit that lettuce and cucumber have not got much flavour, but that's why people will add, say, in Italy, they'll add a lovely dressing. Maybe some olive oil, maybe some balsamic vinegar.
Well, you've embarrassed yourself, because the good thing about a nice, mature lump of cheddar cheese is you don't have to have any dressing.
Although you add some anyway.
I put a little bit of olive oil in it and maybe some mayonnaise.
Maybe some Thousand Island dressing.
On a Ritz cracker, you don't need it, it's just extra.
Sure. Well, good luck. I noticed you're wearing is this your travelling gear? You've got the sweatpants and the t-shirt, the free t-shirt.
Yeah.
Looking to get an upgrade, are you? Or?
I'm going first class anyway. Badly drawn boy, spitting in the wind on XFM 104.9.
Are you going to be taking in any of the culture in Italy? Is that something you do?
Yeah.
The opera?
Don't know about the opera. I've never been to the opera. I do like
You like the opera, do you?
Yeah, I wouldn't sit through a whole one, but I mean, I like take for it for that World Cup one, and those two fat birds that they sung in Shawshank Redemption was good.
Yes.
But I think I haven't gone into it extensively. I haven't studied the art.
The art of opera.
Also, it's in foreign, so you don't really know what's happening.
It's in foreign.
Yeah. So you don't.
That's annoying for you.
Yeah.
What about are you a fan of any of the great English operas, like the Pirates of Penzance?
Yeah. Gilbert and Sullivan. To me, Gilbert and Sullivan were like their day equivalent of like Richard Stilgoe getting together with Tony Slattery, and then 100 years later people go, it's brilliant. It is like they might as well I don't know, make any episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Right, yeah.
Into an opera, and in 200 years' time we're going, that's genius.
Yeah.
Listen to this one. Look, this is Party Quirks.
Yeah, Amdram Society staging Worst Step. Because I was in the Pirates of Penzance once in an amateur production.
You used to like Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I did. That was.
Although I did watch
infamous
it when it first came on Channel 4 about 15, 20 years ago.
But we did the Pirates of Penzance when I was in an amateur dramatic society in Bristol, the Bristol Operatic Society, Light Operatic Society. I don't know why I was involved because I can't sing. My audition, I thought this is how desperate they were for blokes. I swear to God, right, I can't sing. You know.
Who are you?
Yeah. Well, I calm down. And I went in and they said, "What are you going to sing?" I went, well, I want to surprise you. They said, "Do you want a piano accompaniment?" I said, "No, I don't think so." I went to the back, I swear to God, I went to the back of the room and I just sang, "Thumbelina, Thumbelina, tiny little thing, Thumbelina dance, Thumbelina sing, Thumbelina, what's the difference if you're very small? 'Cause when your heart is full of love, you're 6 feet tall." I just did that. And they just looked at me like I was the weirdest freak they'd ever had. Immediately put me in the chorus, because that was how desperate they were for blokes. We staged it, we rehearsed it, I couldn't remember the lyrics.
Thank God you were doing Thumbelina.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I couldn't remember the lyrics.
What was it for? Was it Gilbert and Sullivan?
It was the Pirates of Penzance. There weren't enough blokes, right, so that we had to double up. So some of the pirates had to double up as the policemen who were chasing the pirates. A little bit problematic in the scene when the policemen and the pirates have a fight. That was a little bit tricky. And the worst things, there's this sequence where, like, the daughters of the Major General are all kind of like, "Oh, beautiful," something like, "Oh, beautiful little girls are we, da la 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 la." And the women they must have all been over 40. I mean, real kind of toothless crones creeping around in their 90s.
Is it the sort of women that buy one of those sort of porcelain dolls from the TV and go, "Look, I've had a baby." It's not a real baby. It is a real baby. I'm going to stab you.
Yeah.
One of those.
Exactly. It's the sort of women something that you'd see maybe on TV's Bargain Hunt. You know, the kind of contestants you get on there. Those sort of women who sort of very namdram and they think they've clung on to their looks, but they've never made it in the guy who was playing the, there's a guy who's supposed to be an 18-year-old prince, an 18-year-old pirate, the Pirate King. He must have been 40 years a day. He also directed the show, though, so he got to prance around in these thigh-high boots. Ludicrous. It was so embarrassing. It was shameful, really.
I'd love to go to Amdram.
Amdram is a whole other world. It's just such an incredible place. Because there's so much backbiting and envy and...
Really?
Oh, it's incredible. It's worse than the real world of theatre and TV. It's unbelievable. Because the same old people get to do it every year because they can hold a note.
Can we go along?
You would absolutely adore it, Gervais. It is
Just film it, a secret
absolutely
camera.
blinding.
Have you ever done in a play, Pilk?
We know this. Carl, you've performed,
Just
haven't
did the talent show, didn't I?
Oh, the talent show, yeah.
Remind us of the talent show.
And, that's when I did Walk Like an Egyptian, dressed up as a woman.
Yeah, yeah.
And did me magic trick.
Oh, that's that. Is it an egg?
The egg one.
Yeah.
What was the egg one again?
When I... actually, I've ruined it now, saying the egg one, but I went on stage with, like, an hanky.
Yeah.
And I said, at this point I was dressed up as a caretaker in it.
Sure.
Don't know why, can't remember.
No.
I was stood there with this hanky over my hand.
Yeah.
I said, right, you're going to love this one.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to make a bird appear in front of your eyes, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh God, what's it going to do? So I'm stood there,
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
pulled the hanky off,
It was an egg.
had an egg, and I said, oh, it hasn't been born yet.
That's brilliant.
They loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went wild for it, did they? Round of applause.
Yeah.
How old were you? Was that when you were like 17?
Was that apart from your paper round? Was that the high point of your life so far? Is that the what's the
No, I
best?
didn't really
Carl,
want to
I'd
do
like
it.
to see you take that on the road. Or maybe at least up to the Edinburgh Festival next year.
Go, we're going to play a song now, right? One of my great track, What's That Man, off one of my favourite albums, A Love Insane by David Bowie. But during that, can you think of a couple of things for me? What's the best thing that's ever happened to you? Can you think about that for 3 minutes? Me and Steve will leave you alone. Just the best thing that's ever happened to you. Remember and think that is amazing. Yeah, can you do that? What's That Man? David Bowie. Steve's caught unaware there, just wandering around, not quite ready, were you?
Well, no, I'm just relaxing. I'm just laid
Yeah.
back, just hanging.
Yeah, Carl.
Yeah.
Best thing that's ever happened to you? Best event, best day in your life?
I mean, there's loads of things that happen. Like,
Yeah.
no, but do you know what I mean? You can go for obvious stuff like, you know, meeting Suzanne,
Yeah.
sticking with her and
Well,
having a nice
take
holiday.
that as read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got that on your desert island. That's already
Yeah.
done.
Well,
And the day you got your qualifications through.
Yeah, the history.
probably, I mean, when you asked me then, the first thing that came into my mind, right, that was a real surprise, right, because it's like, you get surprises on your birthday and that, don't you? But they're not really surprises, because you're hassling your mum and dad for stuff,
Yeah.
and then they might bite you.
Yeah,
So it's not
yeah.
really a real surprise, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd say something that was really like, oh yeah, nice one, I've got something here, is the time when my dad said, empty the bin, will you, right? I said, oh, do we have to? And I was watching something, it was like, why don't you, or something like that on the telly.
Is this what started your tea bag and banana skin collection?
Right, so it was like, do you know in the summer holidays where you'd have dead good telly in the morning, you had like
Yeah.
the monkeys,
Yeah, yeah,
and it was
banana
why don't you,
splits.
banana splits and all that, right? And I was like loving that, I was watching that, my dad said, empty the bin. I said, oh, the monkeys are on in a minute. He said, look, just empty the bin. So I emptied it and I just put it near the door. He said, don't leave it there. He said, stick it near the bins in the garden. I was like, oh, I'll put it there later. He said, no, do it now.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, oh, if I miss the beginning of this, I'll be livid, right? So I picked it up quick, ran out down to the bottom of the garden, slung it in the corner, and sort of went to turn back to go back in, and had to look again, because they had like a little AA truck. They bought me, it wasn't brand new, but he'd got it from somewhere, a little AA go-kart. Do you know one of them, like, little things? I mean, I was young,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it was
a
like,
go-kart.
what kind of, you know, the plastic ones?
Yeah.
When you're about, I don't know, I must have been like 5 or 6 or something.
So I don't quite follow. Has
So
he
my
sent
dad-
you out there?
My
He
dad sent me out with a bin bag so I
Yeah.
could see
So you
like
could
what
see
he'd
the
got
thing.
me. And it wasn't my birthday or anything, he just got it from somewhere.
You sure you hadn't just nicked it and dumped it out the back?
Possibly.
Sure.
But that was like a genuine like, oh yeah, smart.
Yeah.
So I went back in, watched the telly and
Yeah, you
that for
didn't
a bit
play
and
with
went
the
back
go-kart.
out.
You thought, sod that.
Did I tell you about my go-kart?
Yeah,
Yeah.
about your dad giving it away.
Yeah.
What's the story?
I think I've told you something.
Have you gone? What? Tell it again.
Well, have I told it on air? I can't remember. Maybe I just told you it. When I was about 8 or 9, I had a go-kart and I loved it. It's one of those that you pressed back and forth.
Yes.
And I used to come in every day. Used to just get changed, run out, and it was behind the shed. And I used to just go up and down the garden. And one day I came running in, and I ran out, and I couldn't see it. And I went to the back door. My mum was washing up, and I went, "Where's my go-kart?" She went, "Your dad swapped it."
Your dad swapped it?
Yeah. With this, it was his mate Jimmy in the pub. He went, "It's just." I said, "What?" Oh. She went, "Yeah, he swapped it for a wheelbarrow." So I went and looked back, and there was this wheelbarrow, right, that was obviously just came off a building site.
Yeah.
Covered in concrete. I couldn't. It was steel. Like I could hardly move it.
Yeah.
And I went back and I went, "Really?" She went, "Yeah, it's your wheelbarrow."
See, I'm thinking if my dad lost a wheelbarrow that day.
Yeah, and I used to push that up and down. It wasn't the same. And
You used to push the wheelbarrow up
Yeah,
and down? Anything in there, or...?
No, I was just like,
It's empty,
I was just trying to sort of keep myself amused.
Yeah.
But anyway, that summer, I went on holiday, and I went to Bognor with my mum and my nan.
Another wild holiday.
Yeah, and I was sort of out with my caravan, and I made friends with this kid, and he'd hired a go-kart from the caravan, is that right? And I remember him going around there, and it was great. And I said, I've got a go-kart. And the caravan window opened, and my mum said, "Don't lie."
You've got a wheelbarrow. Be truthful.
I went, "I had a go-kart."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so tragic.
Yeah.
Did you ever really forgive him for that? I'd never forgiven my dad if he'd swapped a go-kart for a wheelbarrow.
I just thought that's part of the course. Isn't
Yeah.
it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're in charge.
Sure. Did you used to rush home, change, and
Yeah.
into that sort of gardener's gear? Yeah. Straight into your hard hat and dungarees.
I could, "Mum, any bricks need moving?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh, that's so tragic.
Yeah.
Still, that was your happiest day.
Yeah.
Beautiful castle.
That's the one that sprang to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Go-kart,
my unhappiest. You see how go-karts can be good or bad? Does that make you think, Carl? That the go-kart is, you know, is good and evil? Play a record. I'm
some
upset.
ads.
Huh?
So, some
Oh,
ads.
buddy, what ads have you got?
I've got these.
Electric Soft Parade. Same way every day on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
With him, Steve Merchant.
Sure.
Rick, I only had one thing I had to do all week. Okay.
What was that?
I was all week. I was so excited about getting up Friday morning, phoning, getting Bruce Springsteen
Oh,
tickets. The Boss is playing in
Yeah.
October, and basically got up too late.
Well, not sold out already. You just
Sold
didn't
out.
get-
It had sold out, but I've started calling at 12:30. It sold out. I trawled the net. I trawled all
Yeah,
the phone
but a lot
lines.
of, some of those buys are bulk buys for selling on, aren't they? They're not all
This is the
individuals.
problem. This is the problem. I mean, I don't know how many people they can fit in Wembley Arena, but sold out by 12:30, and that's popular.
Wembley Arena.
Yeah.
It's about 12,000, isn't it?
I was so gutted. It was all I had to do. I was so looking forward to it. I phoned up one of those like quite dodgy ticket agencies. Do you know how much he was offering to? You know, they're 45 quid to buy. He said the starting price is 225 quid. I mean, that to me is like a ticket tout, like a legal ticket tout.
allowed to do
I don't know. It's crazy. I was so
They
angry.
could make they'd have to say their booking fee was £150.
Exactly. So but now I'm like desperate. I don't know what to do. I'm just wondering if I can abuse our position on the radio and just try and scrounge them from anyone who's listening. No, I mean anyone who's listening who's got the power to get them, you know, or...
This is begging, isn't it?
It's exactly what it is, Rick, yeah. Yeah, I was going to try and dress it up,
Yeah.
but it's just begging. I'm
That
just...
ticket touts after you as well, for
Exactly.
dissing him.
Ricky.Gervais.
Don't bring me into it.
Shut up. Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk. If there's anything you can do to get me a ticket, I'm willing to pay for it. Up to the price
you're
of
big.
45 quid. you know.
Yeah, wow.
No,
Second
don't
hand.
mind. Yeah, second hand.
30. You don't want to throw your money around,
I'll give
Steve.
25 quid, come on. Don't you know
Yeah.
who I am?
Yeah.
But that, I mean, do you know what I mean? Because I'm just, like, I asked Carl if he could sort it out. He's done nothing. He's achieved nothing.
I know.
So I'm just desperate. I'm in a desperate situation and I don't quite know what to do.
I'll tell you this though, Carl. Don't bother doing favours for him because he's not grateful. You give him something, and he goes, "Right, does this mean I have to give you something back?" And I go, "Well, no." He goes, "Good."
Well, I got your Cure tickets and you did nothing
Yeah,
but
it was
whinge about
rubbish,
it.
that gig.
There you go,
It was
then.
rubbish. I went along to that gig. It was a balmy summer's night. The Cure, as far as I'm concerned, owe me a balmy summer's night because I wasted it. Hour and a half they played for. They played 4 hits. I don't want to hear their dirge from, like, some dodgy album and from, like, 1984. I'm not interested. Play the hits. Boys Don't Cry, Love Cats, blah, 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 blah. Instead, I got nothing. I was so angry. I was just, oh man, I was
You were
so
probably
angry.
angry at Carl, weren't you?
I was angry at Carl for wasting my time getting me the tickets for
Do you know
free.
what I mean,
If I
Carl?
paid for it,
Are you
I'd have
getting,
been
you getting to
absolutely
see
livid.
what sort of a bloke Steve Merchant is?
Point. Do you not agree though? If you're going to go and see a band like The Cure on a summer's night,
Yeah.
Hyde Park, you do not want to hear some obscure B-sides and album tracks.
But that was a great thing about when I saw Bowie at the BBC. He played.
you what?
You know about that?
I don't know about this.
Yeah, you do.
What? When did you see Bowie?
At the Jonathan Ross recording.
Oh, what? You're sure his friend Jonathan Ross?
Yeah.
What was this? Was that TV thing he did?
Yeah.
You went to that? You haven't told me about this.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
But you were away, I think.
No, I wasn't. Because I watched it on TV.
It was amazing.
Well, don't tell me that.
It was incredible.
Were you seriously there?
Yeah. And then I went on to a show on the Saturday.
Did you?
Yeah. Because I was just John said, "Oh, I need someone to come in." Yeah. And I went on to the radio.
So
2
you were
show.
hanging out with Bowie?
Yeah.
Go on. Who else was there?
Well, the weird thing was.
Shall I go through my favourite artists and you just name them and see if they were there? Just let me know.
No, but it was amazing, right? Because he played just doing low because it was the Meltdown thing, and he did Be My Wife, which was great. Then he started doing Fame. Right, and they'd been talking about Ziggy in the interview. He was going, "Oh, everyone goes on Ziggy. Will you just stop it?" Right, and it was sort of like got to a point where he was going, "Oh," and it was really funny. And but Jonathan's like favourite phase was that. And then he started playing Fame, and it was really good. And he just went, "Stop this! This isn't this. Let's do Ziggy." And my spine tingled. Oh, right on. And he did Ziggy Stardust, and I'll tell you what, it sounded like the album version. And it's got an amazing band, and I love it when they do that. I hate it when just because they've been going for 25 years, they start changing
Sorry,
it.
I can't believe that you went to this, that you knew you were going to this, and you never asked me. You never asked Jonathan if you could get me in. I mean, seriously, I mean, you know how much that would have meant
Yeah,
to
but
me.
it was very tight. Apparently, I know, but it was very sort of. Apparently, Richard Branson couldn't get in. There was a queue, so I was like special. It was me and Jane went. David Baddiel and Frank Skinner.
Oh, what, some new showbiz friends of yours, are they?
No, I mean I'm rubbing it in, Steve. I know.
I can't, I'm just...
But you might not have liked it. You might have complained like Carl got you
If
the
you-
Cure, and you turned
That was
it back on it.
rubbish, though. That was rubbish.
Well, you might not like what David did. You know,
I'll
I
tell you
thought-
this, seriously, if I find out that you've gone to some secret gig or something in the future, and I find out you've been, seriously, that's it. There's no more office, there's no more... No, I'm not joking, I'm not mucking around, because that to me is like, that's what friendship is, that's like a textbook example of friendship.
What do you think, Carl?
No, I just think that's
No, you
really
weren't.
off.
No, you
I just
were
think that's
away.
really
You
off.
were. You were.
No, I
genuinely-
wasn't away.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
I wasn't away. Don't try and fool me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been away if I was away. I wouldn't have been away if
You
you
were
told me that
asleep.
was happening.
You were asleep.
I'm seriously. We can joke about it, but I'm really angry about this.
What do you think, Carl?
There's a secret, right? Apparently there's a secret Bruce Springsteen gig that's been planned.
I'm going.
It's all, are you? If I find out you're at that, I will. I mean,
Oh dear.
play a record so I can shout expletives at you. I tell you what, lovely bit of electronic.
Oh.
Just to calm and soothe me. I'm just seriously, I'm not joking. That really winds me up. That really winds me up.
The Cure was good.
Electronic, getting away with it. Nice to hear that again, Rick.
Yeah, lovely. Level that.
Someone's just.
You've had a bit of result, haven't you?
Well, no, there's a guy who's phoned out who said he might be able to sort me out with the Springsteen ticket, so I'm deeply excited about that. But,
Yeah.
you know, people don't get complacent.
Put your laurels.
He might not be able to...
Steve demands a lot of hard work.
Well,
there.
he might not be able to sort it out, you know, he's going to make some calls, but if he can't, then, you know, keep calling or emailing ricky.gervais.
You'll be taking me, won't you? Because after that rant about me not taking you.
Well, you're welcome to go. I mean, if you told me that before, I probably could have blagged some using your name. If you let me do that, I could have phoned out the promoter. I'm calling on behalf of Ricky Gervais, BAFTA winner.
Dear.
He'd have probably sorted me right out. But yeah, no, I mean, you know, we joking aside, it is quite serious. And as I say, I don't want to pay through the nose for him. You know, I'm willing to go up to sort of £47. They cost 45 face value.
like that Steve trying to impress a girl in a queue. Offered the bouncer £2 for himself if he could go to the front of the
Oh
queue.
man, that was so embarrassing. I tried to bribe. Did I tell you that, Carl? I tried to bribe the bouncer. He was coming out. He thought he was in sort of. He was like the bouncer of the Met Club, or the Met Bar or something.
Tenner in.
He was choosing. No, he wasn't. He was picking people off. Right. That was it. He was picking people off, and he was going, "You can come in. You can come in." I got chatting to a couple of girls. I thought, oh, I'm in here. I'm sorted here. And I thought I'll act flash. I'll try and bribe my way into the club. The guy was walking past. I cornered him. I went, "Wee, how much is it to go in?" He said, £5. I went, I'll give you 7. And £2. Because the problem I had was I didn't want to go straight to like a tenner, because if he accepted 7, I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to waste money.
you're
So
right,
I thought,
Steve.
I
You're
thought
right,
we could
Steve.
at least haggle.
It was the term. Is that frugal? What is the term for that? Thrifty? No.
But I'm resenting this because you are trying to create this myth that I'm somehow, that I'm somehow cheating my money, or that I'm not a great lover. Do you know what I mean? And that's sort of, I'm like, it's annoying me, frankly.
Oh dear. Carl, you went to Habitat this week, didn't you?
You're not going to believe this, Steve.
Go on.
He told me
Is it
this.
a bargain?
No.
Do you know I told you about those lads at school with big heads?
Sure, yeah, the big head lads, yeah.
Right.
And the web feet.
Yeah, web dams.
Web dance, was it?
They weren't there, were they?
They weren't there, but do you know, like Ricky was always saying, oh, they don't exist, they only went to your school, la la la. It was in Habitat, there was only one sat on a sofa. Not one of the lads, but one of the...
big-headed lad?
A big-headed lad.
What? Is that like, when you say a big-headed lad, is he like Frank Sidebottom big head? I mean, is it like...
I don't know what it... This is why, it'd be nice to...
You think it's maybe a medical...
Well, it'd be nice to, if there's a doctor listening, right?
Yeah. A doctor listening to XFM thinking, I must phone up and fuel Carl's obsession with the deformed.
Yeah.
No, but it's not really deformed.
But
it
how
was just
big is the head?
probably. You see, it's weird how it's always kids who I see with it. So I'm wondering whether they have a
grow into the
full-size head,
Right,
and
yeah.
then when they get older, it works out all right.
Like jumpers. My mum used to get me jumpers a size too big,
Yeah.
so it'd last a year.
So I'm just wondering if it's the same.
So
sort of-
how old are these generally? Are they not like adults? They're like kids.
Well,
aren't
when
they?
I was at school there, I was probably about 7, and this kid on
And do they have to
on
wear any
Sunday-
kind of apparatus to sort of keep their head from kind of, not tipping them over or sort of staying
Well, like a
upright? I mean,
breast
well, I'm just worried that the head's kind of too heavy for their body or something in there.
No, it's not that big.
Right.
It's just not right. You kind of go, you sort of do a bit of a double take.
Yeah.
Like the fringe isn't sort of, just above their eyes. It's quite high up.
Sure.
Um,
That sickens you, obviously. And is it something that repulses you slightly? Do you get
No. That'd be cruel.
No, sure.
But,
But it's not cool to discuss it on the radio.
well, it happens,
Sure,
right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I'd just like to know what it is. If it's like a water on the head type
A
thing.
water on the head type thing.
Like water on the knee,
yeah.
but on the
Water
head.
on the head.
But yeah, if anyone knows what it is,
Yeah. People with big heads.
yeah,
And it's, okay.
it'd be good.
Good information.
So, what time are we doing?
You sure
the
it wasn't
quiz?
perspective? You sure he wasn't sort of leaning forward and he was really tall? So the top of the head looked quite big, but then it went to a little body, but really his body was a lot further away.
No, big head.
Yeah.
Just a big head. Rest of his body, fine. Face, okay, everything's normal.
You weren't looking at him in a kettle.
If you wore a hat, it'd be alright, but
What do you mean if he wore a hat, he'd be alright?
you'd probably just think, oh, it's a big hat. Or something.
Yeah, but what sort of hat?
So you're like a 10-gallon hat.
Yeah, that would go down onto his shoulders with 2 eyes cut in it.
Yeah, like something from the Ant Hill mob.
Yeah, Michael Bentine's potty time.
Yeah.
How would a hat help him?
Yeah. Are you sure this wasn't a Diddy man?
You see, I'm not being mean, I just want to know what it is.
No. Okay.
Right.
But if you are a doctor listening and you want to use your kind of free Saturday
Not the
to waste-
doctor who phoned the bloke in America and said, where do I get blood from?
Sure.
Not that doctor, because I assume he's been struck off now, giving...
Sure, give us a call and sort out the whole big head conundrum. What's the number?
08700 800 1234.
That's also the number to call if you have Bruce Springsteen tickets available. I will pay up to £47.
Don't do it. Go yourself. Don't give them to Steve for cost price. Make a little profit.
Oh, come on,
don't
Rick,
take the
seriously, don't
mickey.
wind me up. You know what I feel. You've already ruined the bad thing. Don't ruin some more of my
But I'll
dreams.
tell you what, if you do get Steve tickets, he'll be so grateful that he will spend a bit of money on you, I imagine. You'll buy tickets and, give him something pretty special because you're earning now and,
Yeah. So let me discuss that with them, Rick. I mean, let's not make any promises.
Yeah, you're in the middle of a phone call there, aren't you? Is that poor bloke still on the line?
Probably not, no, he's gone.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
oh, you're in the middle of
white,
something.
white stripes there.
Yeah, dead leaves and the dirty ground. Steve, what are you doing?
Sorry, mate, I'm just sort of preoccupied with other stuff. I've got the whole Springsteen thing I'm worried about. I've got that playing on my mind.
I've never seen Steve so worried. Like, usually he sits there with his head...
You, Rick, I've made promises to people I can't keep. I promised about 3 different people I'm getting them tickets. So,
Well,
just
seriously
making
right.
some calls, Rick, that's all.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
Are we doing the game in this hour or what?
Oh, we could do. Should we do that? Your game. What was that thing you told me the other day as well, of talking about it? People have been phoning up about this. I don't think we should talk about conditions of the mind and brain.
Well, that woman's put you right.
Yeah, shown us it's hydrocephalus, it could be, and all it is that it's totally curable, and normal life, what they do is, it's a baby born with sort of water on the brain, and it comes out, must hurt a bit in childbirth, and then they just drain it off. It's just full of water.
I tell you what.
What?
Just reminded me
What?
weird stuff going on in the
But it
world.
wasn't a baby, was it? Maybe it was a baby. Maybe it was a baby, but it had water on everything.
Well, listen, right, this was a kid with a big head, as far as I'm concerned. He wasn't a baby. But we know what he's got, everything's sorted. But other things, right, that are weird in the world,
Yeah,
do you
go
know
on,
you're
Carl.
always like,
Yeah.
you're going on about there's no ghosts and stuff,
Yeah.
right? How do you answer this one?
Yep.
Someone here who I work with,
Yep.
right, I'm not going to say they are because it doesn't matter, but they were eating space cake, right?
What do you mean by that, Carl? Explain.
What's a space cake?
For people who...
It's some sort of druggy cake, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
A dope brownie or whatever, yeah.
Right.
So it's something with cannabis in it, is that what you're saying?
I think it's something stronger than that, isn't it? I don't know. But anyway, he was having this space cake, and...
You better give me the name now, Carl, because I've got to report him.
No, listen.
It's only, no.
It
'cause
really
is
doesn't
still-
matter.
No.
Is it Sturgis? Was it Claire Sturgis?
Yeah,
She
let's say
wouldn't
it
bother.
is.
She's gone on the hardest. She doesn't bother with
yeah,
those.
she's just
Doesn't do anything to her
Straight
now.
to the vein, yeah.
So listen, right? So he's at a party, right,
Yeah.
with his mates, and they're listening to the Star Sailor album, right?
Right.
And he's sat there, and he's had some of this cake,
Right.
and he's listening to the album, and his mate sat across the way talking to someone else, right?
That's weird.
The album's on, and he thinks to himself, this track's going on a bit.
Yeah.
And his mate across the way, who's talking to someone else,
Heard him say it.
heard him say it, and he goes,
Yeah.
yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he goes, oh,
Right.
and he goes,
See, usually at this point, I say this bloke taking drugs, but you started the story
Yeah.
with this bloke
no.
had done some drugs, right,
Since-
Rick?
No, if he was here now,
Yeah.
right, he would say, yeah, I know it sounds mental,
Yeah.
but it happened. And
Yeah.
it wasn't just a one question. It wasn't just like, oh, this track's a bit long, innit? Yeah, it is.
He had a
It
whole
was
conversation.
A whole conversation
Sure.
with the guy. And
Yeah.
the-
But, sorry, I just want to clarify. You mean he had the whole conversation telepathically?
yeah.
Right. He didn't just shout across the
And
room.
they've recently met up and like they've sat there and tried to like work out what happened. And it's never
Without,
happened
presumably, they
again.
didn't have to talk at all anymore.
Yeah. Why did they meet up? Couldn't they just done it like on their own homes? Just stay at home, do it.
Do they have to have that cake before they
Yeah,
start
before they
having
have
a
to chat.
conversation? Hold on, wait a minute, lads. Why are we using our lips?
Yeah.
This is using way too many for... Oh, take...
My only question with that is, being skeptics like Ricky and I, whenever we hear a story like that about the paranormal, the first thing we always look for is maybe some other explanation.
Yeah.
Maybe one vague idea.
Lying.
Could be lying.
Chinese whisper.
As I think you pointed out, there are drugs. It's often,
Drugs.
an issue as well.
Madness.
Yeah.
Fear. Delusion. Sleep.
Yeah.
You know, there are so many things you go through.
I'm gonna go with the drugs.
before your dead grandmother
Exactly.
pops into the equation.
I'm
for
going to
me.
go with the acid.
Right, tell the other story that you totally believe this as a true story, don't you? The fella with the being killed.
Right, do you know how the other week we were talking about some fella who had his head cut off, and he said, when the head goes into the basket, I'm going to blink a lot, see how many times I can blink.
But if you remember, when Carl first told me that, it was, I think it was Simon or Nick that pointed out. He goes, no, that's not quite right, Carl. Carl told me that he had his head cut off, and when his head was in the basket, it looked up and said, count how many times I blinked.
Yeah,
but he
sure.
believed that as well.
Yeah,
so he was happy. He was happy with that.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
So yeah, a couple of weeks ago there was a guy, he had his head cut off, and before he had it off he'd said, I'm going to blink to show that there's life after death.
And
you don't.
he did 32 blinks,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So you two were sort of putting that down the other
Yeah,
week.
we were skeptical of that.
So I looked again
On the internet?
at some other website,
Yeah.
and there's a
Sorry, it's the
guy-
website, just to clarify, the website is the place where you bought that property on the moon, didn't you? Because it was a bargain.
right? So this guy,
Been gazumped.
look, we'll see who's been gazumped when this world ends. I've
Yeah.
got somewhere to go,
Yeah.
right? And I know you'll be calling me up
saying, "Oh, can I come with you?"
Have you got like 2 square foot?
No, I've got acres.
You're gonna have to stand deadly still on the moon in your 2 square foot.
I've got about
There's
20
no place for
acres.
Suzanne. It's just
Yeah.
for you. 12 off, love.
It's all those people with big heads and web feet that've been buying it all these years.
Well, listen, right.
Go on.
Anyway,
Play a record. Tell us a story after it. We've been chatting for far
Sorry,
too long.
Carl. No, there's no
Play a
record.
tune. We'll come back with
What
this.
do you wanna
What's
play?
this? Another ghost story?
Oh, let's play one of my favourite songs of all time. I'm going on holiday and getting into a lovely serene mood. Sorrento is probably from that. It's Neil Young, After the Gold Rush.
Beautiful. Still to come, that competition as well. Look forward to that. Carl's quiz.
Yeah. What an amazing track that
Beautiful
is.
tune, yeah.
Neil Young,
Dynamite.
After the Gold Rush. So go on, Carl. Sorry. Go on, Carl.
So let's take us back a few steps, Carl. What's the story?
right. So I did some research. Right.
Let's just recap again. There was a guy you read about who had his head chopped off. He was guillotined.
Yeah.
He had said to the people around him,
Count
I am going
blinks.
to blink once I've had my head cut off to
So
show
the
that
brain
life-
can still...
or the brain
Yeah.
can continue to work after,
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
death. Okay, so yeah, we queried that.
So you weren't having any of it.
Well, no, possibly for a few seconds till the oxygen stops being fed to the cells because the blood has drained away. But, you know, nothing spectacular. So
All
go
right,
on.
well, along the similar sort of lines, right? This is quite a few years ago. This fella sort of upset the royal family doing something, right? So they said that this isn't
It
good.
wasn't Ben Outman at that Jubilee thing, was it?
I can't remember what it was, and they said, right,
That was terrible.
we're gonna cut your head off. You know, you gotta show people that you can't be doing what you've been doing.
What was this, the 1970s? When you say a couple of years ago, you mean maybe sort of...
Was it the olden days when the
Ages
phones
ago.
weren't very good?
Ages ago.
Yeah.
Ages ago, sure.
So yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So
Very philosophical.
Yeah, imagine that when you was near
Cut your head off.
This was literally ages ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go
Simon
on.
Sharma's History of Britain.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
So-
and even before that, which is yonks before, when it was all mental and different. Sorry, Carl, go on.
So he's having his head cut off, and he's resigned to it.
it's a day before. He's kind of got it into his head now that I'm not going to have my head much longer.
Sure.
So he said, let's make use of this.
Yeah.
He said, I wonder how long like the body can stay alive without my head on it, right? So they were like, oh, I don't know. So
Hoover.
so
The jailers?
whoever he was asking.
These jailers with one eye.
Yeah.
Get up, pal.
So he said,
No, wait a minute, I've got an interesting scientific experiment, jailer. Well,
Yeah.
fair enough.
What is it?
So he said, what I want to do, right? He said, you know, surely it's my last right. You know, I'm gonna be dead tomorrow.
Sure.
So let's
He
do a
didn't draw
test.
it out this long, did he?
Yeah, he said, let's test this out. You know, he said, do us a favour. He said, you know, it's my last day. What I want you to do is, you're going to cut my head off. Let's put a white line on the floor
Right.
and see if, you know, because there's no point asking how far he can sort of walk without an head if there isn't a line, because you don't know what to count. Do you know what I mean? If he loses his head and is running around all over the place, you can't really count
That's
that.
not impressive enough, yeah.
So they said, let's make a white line.
Sure.
Yeah. Who said
And-
this? He did or they did?
I think they started to join in with him and saying, well, let's make this a... you know.
You guess it. Go on.
So,
They got Norris McWhirter there. The Guinness people.
Oh, yeah.
so they said, let's get this white line.
Yeah.
And
Dedication's all he needs.
we'll do this tomorrow. He said, all right, then I'll see you in the morning. So we go,
I'll see you in the morning. Night, night. Sleep tight. Bye-bye.
I love the fact that Carl knows exactly what was said. Oh, that's beautiful.
He doesn't know the story or what order it is in or when
but
it
he knows
was.
exactly what
or
was
who
said.
says what, but he knows the introduction. All right then, see you in the morning. Bye, little kissy, kissy, kissy. Oh, I'm not like that. Oh, you joker.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Yeah. Anyway,
so he gets up.
do you want a paper tomorrow? No, I'm all right. Go on.
He gets up and they say, right, you know, today's the day and that. And he said, well, you know, I've got used to the idea. So here's a white line for you.
Got used to the idea.
Go on.
So they go, right, you ready then? And he said, I go on. And they cut his head off. And the body walked 32 steps without a head.
Wow.
32 steps.
Incredible.
And that's the lesson, really.
Did it get as far as it walked along the white line, did it?
Yeah, it stayed along the white line, did 32 steps, and then started to stumble a bit, and it just fell over.
yeah.
But,
It
you know,
would
it was a test that your body can still keep alive for a little bit
Yeah.
when you've lost your head.
Absolute twaddle. Absolute twaddle.
What do you reckon you can do then without an head? How many steps?
Nothing. There'd be muscular spasm, right?
It would twitch a bit.
It would, yeah. You could not distinctly take 32 steps. The body... Well, don't...
Yeah.
Is the doctor still on the line?
Yeah.
The fellow that bought 6 parrots.
Yeah.
And, you know, you could have got 32 steps.
Right, so you don't
Beheaded
believe
man
that.
doing a bit of line dancing.
Right, you don't believe that, but something that you do believe that a cockroach can live a week without an head.
It can. Slightly different kettle of fish there.
Why?
Wow, insect to human is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
That difference.
There's not that much difference in
Well, of
some
course there
insects. Do you know that a snake has a heart and lungs and kidneys and stuff?
Go on.
No, well, I'm just saying.
So?
You're making out as if like they're a totally different, like,
Species. I am making that. I mean, call me old-fashioned.
Do you know what you're talking about there? I don't want you embarrassing yourself, Rick.
Yeah, I am suggesting they're totally different beings. Yeah, that is. Yeah. Now, Carl, the cockroach is a very different thing. The interesting there is that it lives without its head, because a lot of it's on. There's some of them are phototropic, chemotropic. Some of them just literally have irritation and muscle memory. I mean, they do have a central nervous system, but it's very different. So if you lose the head, it bypasses a lot of that anyway. All this is run around. The reason it dies is because it can't take on water. But it's very different to a man, right, having consciousness and then losing that, and the body still going, no, I think I remember what I was going to do here.
Yeah, so
I'm going to carefully
walk
walk
white line.
32 steps along this white line. Imagine just looking down going, oh, missed a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe the head was in the corner going, left,
Yeah.
left, left. Oh, he's now.
Well, let's just put it out. I mean, if anyone listening has maybe had a relative beheaded, maybe in a horrendous car accident, where they got up, maybe they went for a walk, they had a little chat before they passed on.
Carl.
Get in touch.
Oh, Carl, you are my favourite being. You are my favourite species.
Now, you, Carl, may not be particularly different genetically from a cockroach. You are,
Why can
generally
cockroaches
speaking.
do that? Why whoever made them went...
Let's play a record.
Do you know what? When I told him this fact, I send him little facts on text messages just to inflame his, interest. I just sent him a cockroach can live 9 days without his head. He texted back, "What's the point of that?
Yeah.
What's the point of
They're
that?"
not doing experiments, these cockroaches.
It's a boring last week to have.
And he went, and on top of all that, you're thirsty. So it's the worst week of your life, isn't it? That week without your head.
Play a record.
Play a record, Carl.
Competition time next.
Oh, look at his little face. Look at his little
You've not heard
face.
Carl's competition.
Oh, he could live without an head. M&M. Bit late there, weren't you, Carl? Put your little headphones on. Cleaning out my closet.
What are you doing?
I've got stuff on my face with toilet paper.
Oh.
Do the competition.
Yeah. Do you know when we were writing the TV show, I was filming it just for our own amusement, just to sort of, I suppose more as a document really, so that if there was ever a court of law that needed evidence of Ricky Gervais's, I don't know what it is really, sickness, annoyance. He did this for about 2 hours. You see what he's doing now? He's stuffing his face with toilet roll.
Yeah. And pushing the lips out so I can just show my teeth.
Do you know what actually makes me want to be sick?
I know.
Yeah, so he gag a little bit.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Good. Well, while Ricky does that, Carl, it's time for your quiz.
See, this is what you get for this is on telly.
Right, an
You have to be
example.
quiet, or you've got to take that toilet paper out of your mouth.
Okay.
I'm really serious because it's
All right.
really annoying.
Okay.
You going to be quiet?
Yeah.
Right, an example of the game, just in case people didn't hear the launch of it last week. It's a song title. I tell a little story, and that song and that little story is a song, innit?
Yeah.
Right. So, say for example,
What did we do last week?
what did we do last
Oh,
week?
the woman who,
Oh yeah, a woman who really wants to have a bath because she stinks.
Yeah.
But she can't because if she had a bath or a shower or a wash or whatever, she'd end up killing herself.
Yes.
No, you didn't say that. You didn't
What?
say she ended up killing herself.
Well, anyway, as an example, that would be one of the stories.
Yeah,
and
she's
the answer,
electric.
The
Yeah.
answer there is she's
Yeah,
electric.
Colin.
She couldn't have a shower because she would have ended up killing herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright? So this week's then, and don't say it if you know it, because the idea is that people can call it, right? There's this bloke, and he buys a new house, right? And he's well happy with it. His girlfriend moves in with him and stuff, and she says, right, let's clean it up a bit,
Yeah.
and straight away it'll be worth more money.
Good idea.
So he says, right, you do the kitchen and I'll do upstairs and that. She's stripping the kitchen down and he goes upstairs and he's in the bedroom and notices little hole to the attic.
Oh, right, brilliant.
Right. So he goes, oh, I wonder how much room's up there, you know, I've never weighed it up. So he goes up there, and it's all, like, dusty and a mess. And he goes, this could make a good bedroom, this. So he starts cleaning it all out, puts all the rubbish, like, bins the rubbish straight away in these little boxes with bits in that don't belong to him. I wonder what's in here, right? So he opens one of the boxes, it's like a little lamp.
Oh, right.
He goes, this might be worth a few quid, right? And he rubs it,
Magic lamp.
and all the room goes all sparkly and stuff. He goes, oh, what's going on? And then this fella appears, right, in a nice sort of pair of 501s,
Right.
and he says, what do you want?
I know it already. So all the first bit is irrelevant.
Yeah, but it's about building the story, isn't it? So don't say anything. If you think you know it, Steve,
Yeah.
do you know it?
I don't, so I just
Right.
quickly recap the end there. I almost missed the end.
So there you go. He's in the attic, right? His missus is still downstairs. She's not up there.
Okay.
Right. He's on his own, and he cleans this lamp, right? And this fella appears out of all this smoke, and he's wearing a nice pair of 501s, and he's wearing a shirt, and there you go. What's the song?
What song are you thinking of?
The lines are going mental.
Because
We're
it's
going
so
live.
easy.
We'll come back and we'll find out if anyone's got that right. That's a great one, Carl, really.
Right,
Did you just come up with that literally in the last 10 minutes? Genius. This is genius, definitely. I mean, if those calls aren't from major TV companies, I don't know. Dynamite stuff.
A lot of them are, what's his name's lawyer?
Yeah, Simon Mayer.
That's my favourite thing I've done for years.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
That's great, back to form there. So, yeah, okay, the lines are going mental just because it's easy. Go on then.
So I think-
first one to get it.
but
The
you've
first
just-
one to get it, but...
Well, it's not that though, Rick. I mean, Carl has just decided to revise the actual rules of the competition.
Yeah.
So that, we've decided, is very easy. So that's now a qualifier.
And so then they have
And
to
whoever-
answer one live.
Exactly, so whoever gets that one right can
Is
play
it
for
a quick
big money.
one as well? Because some people will lose the will to live.
Yeah.
Just cut to the chase. And because they've got to qualify now, we're throwing an Office DVD that aren't
You'll
ready
sign
yet.
that, won't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That increases value by 42 pence. Right, go on.
We'll just go live, yeah? Hello, XFM.
Yeah, hi, how's it going?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Listen,
A very, very quick recap, Carl, if you will, please, for the people listening.
Very quick.
Right.
A man ends up in a loft.
Man's after moving into this house and that, he's in the loft and he's tidying up. His missus is downstairs doing the kitchen because that needed doing. He's up there. He's cleaning up, emptying the boxes. He finds a little.
He rubs a lamp, a fella comes out wearing 501s. What's the song?
What's the song, mate?
are you talking to me?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Well, look, I'm sitting in this bar, right? I'm not ringing up relating to anything that's going on right now. I'm after one of these armbands to go and meet Bowie on Monday. Can you help me out?
What? What? Piss off.
You can't say that to our public.
Yes, I can. What I can't bear is people begging, Rick, on the radio. You know, I can't bear it.
Is that the Australian
People
bloke
just
who's got the Bruce
screaming.
Springsteen tickets?
Hello, XFM.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you phoning up for an armband?
No,
No,
Jim
Okay,
Genie.
great.
Gene Genie, of course it is.
Well done.
Well done.
Right, what's
so
your name?
everyone else can ring off now because this.
What's your name? Not take the challenge. What's your name?
Josh, you will.
Hello?
What's your name?
Christina.
Christina. Right, do you want to take on the challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh,
So this is for. She's already won a couple of CDs. This is for the Office DVD. Okay.
Signed by Ricky Gervais.
Right. So
Go on
this,
then.
this is the same game again, but we're doing it live. Right?
Okay.
So
Good
this
luck.
is a song title. Right? There's this insect,
I'm loving it already.
right?
Yeah.
And it's in its little like nest. And all the other insects, all its mates and that, are really like working. They're grafting hard. They're tidying up. Some of them are going out getting the food.
Some of them have even got heads, they're still working.
Some of them are like, you know, rushing around. But there's this one insect who's just sat there with its feet up, and it's like, you know, just doing nothing. And it's annoying all the other ones. But it's sat
The Ricky
there,
Gervais bug.
and it's sat there doing nothing, having a little like fag and that. What's the song?
I don't know. Oh my god, I'm brainless.
Hold on, I don't know this either. So, obviously, it's a type of insect. That's why you've avoided saying what it is. So it's something like lazy ant, lazy bee.
Well, we shall throw it back open to the public.
Oh, no, and I hope this poor woman has called in and now got a stupid one.
But Christina's lost it now,
She's
hasn't
lost it. No, she's blown it, Rick.
Oh,
Sorry,
it's
you gotta
only
be
because you
cool.
changed the rules halfway through.
Anyway.
She hasn't got a DVD player, so she's not bothered.
Right. Cheers,
then,
Christine.
Christina.
Bye.
See you later.
So we can throw that back out then, can we?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is there anyone on the phone? Yeah, go on, take the next person.
So what was it? There was some bugs. There was a bug, and one of them wasn't doing any work.
Loads of them are working really hard.
Sure.
This one's just sat there doing
Oh,
nothing,
I hate that
annoying them
sort
all,
of
right? So, XFM? Hello? Hello?
I'm glad to say it's in Carl Pilkinson's mind.
I like him.
Hello, XFM?
I like him.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh yeah, is it animal nitrate, my slope?
No, it's not. Good answer. Good answer.
Is it a good answer? That doesn't make any sense, does it?
It does, it? I know, like Carl does.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
XFM?
Hello?
Hello?
Is it Itchy Park?
No.
Itchy Coo Park.
Bugs are itchy, aren't they?
Yeah, sure. I think they're stabbing in the dark.
They're starting to think like Carl, which I like. Go on, next one.
Hello, XFM?
Is it Scratch Pervert?
No, it's not.
Scratch pervert. She's come out of nowhere there.
It's good.
It's something to do with lazy bug or lazy ant or
Hello,
lazy
XFM.
bee.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, is it Beetlebum?
Excellent.
Beetle Bum, of course. Beetle Bum by Blair.
Sat around doing nothing, it's right, Bum.
Oh, okay. So I don't win anything now.
Well done.
No, you don't.
Yes, she
No.
does. She wins the Office DVD. Take her name and address.
I'm by Ricky Gervais.
She doesn't, because she didn't do the qualifier.
She knew it was Jean Genie. Oh, Carl, let someone win some. It's painful
lads,
enough
lads.
listening to you for 10 minutes.
Lads, can we
give
just
away
calm down
some
for a moment?
things?
Lads, can we just come down for a moment? Once
God.
again, well, I just draw you to my point at the top of the show. When you were pissing about outside in the office, we could have been working through this.
Yeah.
We could have been figuring out the rules.
What's her name?
We could
Who's
have had
that?
maybe some
Who's
music,
that?
some jingles.
Who's that? Who's that?
What's your name again?
Can we do this off air? Let's play a record.
Yeah, no, he's not going to give her an address out. We're rubbish.
This
aren't we?
is so rubbish.
We are really
So
rubbish.
What's your name?
D. D.
D. Right, okay, well, play a record and we'll get your address, D, and we'll send you some stuff.
Thank you.
What I mean, you should
Right,
come in an hour early. We should sort this stuff out. This is what I've been saying all along. I've been saying we should come in, do a
I've
bit of
got
preparation.
things to do.
Simon,